This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here.
Hey man, is that Double D? Yeah man, well turn it up man.
Let's just go in and like kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren.
They're utter shits. They're utter shits.
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
We gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
They're utter shits.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
Lube for their rectal adventures.
What's this? What's this? It's the jacket. The jacket.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wiped it off. That's all. It's a little town.
One girl said she liked big burly orcs with breeding kinks. Okay, I'll just choose the orc boyfriend for her then.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3. Great, Sam.
We dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
On guard.
It's time to mobilize. Let's go.
A giant penis.
Did you cry? That so much. I went into the house and my wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I just crawled onto her and sobbed.
Oh my God.
And here we go.
Are you happy?
That was all me. That was all me. That leftover. I was listening to that one earlier. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Neighborhood. DB5. Yeah, dog brothers and sword sisters. A 4-day weekend. Ooh, yeah. Starting now. I love it.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Mm-hmm. Sharpen that steel and do some damage for freedom.
All right.
Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to you and everybody else. Hope you guys are doing something with family and friends.
Next year's the big one. Did you hear about that?
The 250?
Yeah.
250, yeah. I barely remember like the 1976. Like I was like 6 years old, so I can remember certain things. I remember like a lot of bunting.
Yeah.
A lot of bunting everywhere. But yeah, it should be fun.
I think so too.
A lot of things to be.
Our city did like giant sculptures of fish, and they did one for, what was the other one? Frogs.
Frogs. Yeah.
Now I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but we might be doing Liberty Bells.
Ooh.
Next year.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. It was a big attraction.
Yeah, what Crazy Mouse is referring to, we get these big kind of like sculptures.
Maybe like 6, 7, 8 feet tall.
Yeah, it's like 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. And first they were fish, then they're frogs, and they just get local artists to decorate them, and it's kind of neat. Kind of beautifies the city.
They're all around the whole city, and maybe there's like 50 or 60 of them.
Yeah, And then, like, afterward, like, businesses will buy them. So, you know, you'll walk into a business and be like, oh, they bought one of the fishes, one of the frogs. Travis is looking forward to the 250. I got something for Travis is going to be launching something pretty soon. We're going to be looking real, give you a little taste of that. Sharks here. Good to see you. Snake Oil, Sean, Ryan, John, Matthew. All you guys. Who's the first one in front? Oh my God! They killed Rogan. Yes, Rogan is here today.
I am here.
Matthew Sentence with the first one after. Yeah, that is mode.
I feel like there's a buzz in the room today. I don't know why.
It's the fan behind you.
Yeah. No, I mean no, like a buzz of like
excitement. Excitement.
Yeah, like there's excitement.
Here I am, like it's just the fan behind you.
Well, when you say grab bag, yeah, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, sometimes you just have
feel it.
You have some thoughts, and I do have thoughts. Jeffrem over on Rumble now. He's gone over to the other side, the fun side. Hi all. Just a reminder that in '86 on this date, John Carpenter showed us that there was big trouble in Little China. Really?
Yes.
Maybe wish the man directed a D&D movie. Yeah, he could have done something with one, couldn't he have?
Love John
Patrick. Cheers to everyone out there with a brand new job making better money than the job you were fired from.
Oh, congrats. Yeah, do tell. Yeah,
Hey,
we want to
Patrick,
hear about
absolutely.
this.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Holler for that blue collar dollar.
That's awesome. Congrats.
If you can give us an indication of what you're doing, that's fine. If not, I understand. Patrick sometimes.
That other place didn't need you.
Fuck them.
That's right.
That's what we say. We say fuck them.
Fuck them.
Crawford into Crimson Craw. Good to see you. I'll tell you what. First of all, let's go over here. Let's go to the EFAP screen. All right. So first, let us. There we go. Need some control here for a moment.
You got it,
my friend. Our friends. We had, of course, Keelan, aka Wonky.
That is awesome.
Look at that.
Almost four times his goal.
Yeah. I tell you what, for like a first-time Kickstarter,
congratulations. That is phenomenal.
That is kicking some major ass. 16 hours to go, guys. If you're still thinking about it, like I said, get in on some Triple H action.
He's really pushing for Halloween, if you remember correctly.
Yep. But like I said, looks cool. Some pretty ghoulish action for your table, kind of like OSR. And
word on the street is people throw up during the game.
yes. He has made people vomit. We'll get Chris's there in a moment.
Get it. Yep.
And of course, our friends, Black Lodge Games, Matt and Nick, killing it.
And they almost double D. If you look, they almost 4 times their goal.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You guys can kind of see the projection. This is their third. They're slowly creeping up to like 30, 40 range. If you guys kind of can keep at it and deliver good products, quality products,
bring them on our show. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, we won't be afraid to shout you out. Now, I mentioned our friend Travis.
Mm-hmm.
This could launch later. This is a kind of like a test copy, like a beta. Full Metal Tilt, Travis Fauber. Good dude, like Travis. What these are, this is like jousting rules, like jousting and melee, those sort of rules for like your OSR game. It's Dragon Slayer compatible, which means, of course, it's compatible with every edition of old school D&D. Don't want to show too much here, but kind of see like... He's put a lot of effort. Like I read an earlier version of this. Like this dude knows jousting.
Right now, Gavin would say, that's the sport of Maryland.
yes, the official sport of Maryland. One of the many useless things Gavin has memorized. Look, we're talking about like aiming points on the shield. If you want to like do like a nice tourney in your game. My man has you covered here.
That's awesome.
This is gonna be good. I'll be when this drops, I will be supporting this too, and maybe we can even have Travis on. In the meantime, if you look in the comments, our friend Matt, LordMatteus, did a kind of a more comprehensive look at Full Metal Tilt. I looked at it a while ago, so I'm not completely up on it. This is just when Travis was kicking it around. So, like I said, he's put a lot more into it. But definitely watch this video. And good LordMatteus, our friend Matt, good dude, 994 subscribers. Can we get 6?
Come on,
let's
get him. Let's get him 6 today.
Yes, there we go. So there you go. There's
he's sometimes on the Saturday streams, correct?
Yeah, he's a good dude. He has his own channel.
He just needs 6 more people.
Yep, I've gamed with him. Chris Miller, here's to the best live stream on YouTube.
Here's
to you very much. I was going to say, when does that start? I can't wait to see it.
I'll pay $1 to see that.
Yep. Oh, and look at that.
We
Matt.
didn't even. Yeah.
I didn't even see it. And there we go.
Here.
Damn. Thanks for the shout out, Double D. In the description, as per usual. Have to catch the stream later. Have a great night and an even better 4th of July. You too, my friend.
Yep, and we're going to definitely try to get you to 1,000 tonight.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
guys, 6 of you. Come on, go over. Get them over 1,000.
Snake oil, sending some love.
Shawnee. So we good Lord, we are asleep at the wheel. We owe all these people stuff.
I got something.
Give them like 3 in a row.
You have nice manners for a thief and a liar.
Nice. That's for Shawnee. Thank you, Shawnee, as always. Give something to LordMatteus, too, and then to Chris.
Double zeros, baby!
Yeah. It's in the drop menu. And one more to Chris. Yeah.
I'm Johnny Bench. No runs, no drips, no errors.
No errors. Attaboy.
Looks like a set of honkers.
I thought the same thing.
Paddy, June is over. July is here. Time to dwarf Max. Check out the shirt with elf boobs and an American flag on the same set of threads. Patio Cake Shop, 4th wall. Now, I thought I had put the link in the description. Can't remember what I did do. Whoops. Sorry about that. I love that one, the White Dwarf Summer 2025, Patty. Cal, if you're here, make that live. Make that link live for our buddy Patty. Shouted him out on Twitter. Some cool merch over there. Even some stuff, perhaps, that might be in a Double D adventure. I love that shirt. White Dwarf Summer. Edgelord, too. Hoping the Diamond Bankruptcy F's Paizo in the A. Ooh, did they finally get... They've been like teetering for so long.
Diamond Publishing?
Yeah, the comics.
Yes.
I guess they do others. Yeah, distributor, yeah. Yeah. Hit the like button. Absolutely.
Here's Travis's info.
There you go, November. Yeah, so we'll circle back then, buddy. Patrick Demo, boom. LordMatteus, now 1,000.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Awesome.
Excellent.
You're welcome, Matt. Anytime. Yeah, so guys, definitely check out Paddy's store. In fact, give me a moment here.
You got
Crazy
it.
Mouse.
You got it.
I am gonna hook my boy up. It's one of those things I was effing around so much today, and I've had so much computer issues still. Very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. But I just keep going on. Copy.
Who's that old Navy model in the middle?
Ooh, yeah. We're looking at Paddy's store. Boom. There you go. Should be a clickable link. Thank you very much, boys. Thanks as always for your patronage. Yep. Give Maddie a follow. Yeah.
Love the shirt. Yep.
All right. Now, you know what I love? Just really do it for me. A critical role bathrobe.
Okay. At our house, we call them house coats.
House coats, yeah. Smoking jackets. Wrap yourself in cozy. Critical Role luxury. This plush navy blue bathrobe is embroidered with gold details and perfect for lounging, gifting, or ruling your castle in comfort. There you go. They're unlike D&D, which found too late in the game that it could be a lifestyle brand. Darrington Press they are not wasting any time. Critical Role as a lifestyle brand. I already spoiled this one, so I might as well do it.
Oh boy.
Do you know who that is?
Raggedy Ann.
Raggedy Andy's mother-in-law.
That is Kathy Griffin.
What?
No.
Yep.
No.
Oh my goodness. What happened?
I always thought she was a goblin, but this proves it.
People were comparing her to Pennywise the Clown.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Chucky on crack. Patrick Holy Jesus.
What? Does she have like a medical issue or something?
She's crazy. I mean, she's a little mentally ill.
Is
it cancer? I knew she had cancer before, but if it is cancer now, obviously that is a sad thing. I didn't know if it was active though. She's been sort of going this direction lately, but oof, that's a little.
Remember when she flipped out on like New Year's Eve or something?
Yeah.
Who was that with? Matt Lauer?
Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, she used to host the CNN. The thing is, before she got Trump derangement, she was actually kind of funny. I mean, I think people just generally had a fairly positive view of her. Like, oh yeah, she's kind of funny, kind of one of those female comedians who can occasionally be funny. But yeah, final stages of TDS, pretty much. I've heard her interviewed since, and sometimes in her interviews, she's actually very normal. It's almost like part of her is rebelling, like I shouldn't be like this, but I can't help myself. My neighbor 2 doors down, the crazy lady.
Rogan knows firsthand.
No, not the one across the street.
Okay.
This is the other crazy lady.
Another one is another one I have to watch out for.
Oh, she had Axel. This is the work of chaos. Well, yeah, possibly. She had Mrs. D is now retired. She would have been home for the summer anyway because she was a teacher, and now she's retired. So she, will sometimes just go for a walk. So 2 doors down is this crazy lady with Trump derangement syndrome. The crazy lady across the street is actually a huge Trump fan. She's just a little OCD. Very OCD, as you know. You were blocking her driveway. That was 100% your fault.
That was not intentional.
One time after the show, we were going up, and I'm like, all right, Rogan. I'm like, Rogan, your car is like halfway into that lady's driveway. You parked it. You must have been asleep or something when you came. As soon as he walked out, she just descended on him. What are you doing? I couldn't get out of my driveway.
I just apologized. I think I apologized one time too much because she came back.
Yeah. You should have let it go at like 5 apologies. Because I heard you did like 5 apologies. But no, this lady wrote. She had like a white erase board on both sides. And she's just like, if you voted for this, if you voted for illegals being eaten by alligators.
Remember we had an alligator on the loose in our town?
We did.
Last summer. Chomp chomp.
Now
yeah, they never found it.
Oh, really? They never found it. Well, now now we have alligator Alcatraz. Patrick Demo, Kathy Griffin is now a priest of Zinch.
Patrick Demo got a new job and he's making it rain.
Amen.
Trump made her gain weight. Good Lord. Trump has been in her dreams for like 20 years now almost. Hit the like.
Thank you, Travis.
Are you guys aware of this? This new facility in Florida?
Mm-mm.
This is what made my neighbor freak out. Yeah, just Ron DeSantis said, hey, we can bring up like a camp for these really hardcore illegals, who are, maybe awaiting extradition or whatever. These are like criminal aliens, like the hardcore ones, not like, as they keep saying, like the ones that, you just got them off the street. But it's supposedly like this camp that's like surrounded by alligators. This is from the official White House. This is not like a meme somebody made. I mean, somebody made it, but this came from the official White House Twitter account today. Trump with a bunch of alligators wearing ice hats. I love it. And in case you're wondering, I did vote for this. 100%. But it is causing all these women to freak the fuck out. My neighbor, getting back to her, she wrote like, if you believe in this, then I don't want to talk to you, blah, blah. It was like written in this like cramped hand, like a lunatic. And Mrs. D went over to try to get a picture, but the sun was at just the right angle and she couldn't because it was like glaring on it. So you wouldn't have seen anything. But I'm like, damn, if she puts it out again, I'm going to get a picture of it and show you the kind of person that I live by. Oh, by the way, city council president a couple years back of our city, the 4th largest city in Pennsylvania.
That's who this lady was?
Yes. Insanity.
Is she the lady that had an ice cream social in my neighborhood?
I don't think so. We'll have to talk after because I'm not sure.
And we ended up with all the ice cream because no one came?
I like ice cream.
Oh, no. You're thinking of Doll Kemper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of Doll Kemper now.
That's a true story. She had an ice cream social at our neighbor's house. No one came. And they invited us over. We thought for ice cream.
Right.
So we went, and it was a political thing. And then we were like, okay, well, thanks for having us, blah, blah. And they're like, we have all this extra ice cream. Do you want to take it home? I'm not exaggerating. We probably left there with 10 or 15 half gallons of ice cream.
Holy cow.
Rent a truck.
Great.
And
No one liked that lady.
Death Angels. Hey, I voted for that. Go Gators. I want to get Trump. I want to get Chris's here first. Trump wanted Alcatraz. That is true. Trump wanted Alcatraz, but there were obstacles. So DeSantis, built a prison in the swamp. Him and DeSantis are buddies now. Loved seeing that. It's all good. Give him something, Craig Bragg, that is.
Your little footballs.
Laces out.
Laces out. Hey, Double D and crew, the mad god decrees that all tavern wenches should be big-chested. Mad Dog Games, there you go.
Amen.
Go there. Like I said, I don't know if Cal is here. He might be late. If you can make that active.
I think wherever Cal shows up, he's on time.
Yeah. He's like a wizard. He's never late. So anyway, So there will be Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. I love it. I did vote for it in case any of you are wondering. It's great. They'll think twice. Did you know Rogan's political? Just assume that anybody block a driveway. All right, so we're getting confused here. There's a crazy lady that lives across the street. She's very OCD. Smart as a whip. She's hard to deal with, but she is really based. Like she is a huge Trump supporter. That's the one that Rogan parked in front of.
And got yelled at it.
And got
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So you want to catch her when she's on her meds. And when she is on her meds, like I said, she's actually a fairly interesting woman. Just genuine mental illness, though. Like she has crippling OCD. And that's like, if Rogan had been even like this far away from the end of her driveway, like from blocking it, she would have said something. But I mean, he was like halfway over. Crazy Mouse, how far was he over?
Oh my God. Almost all of it.
It's almost like he was purposely blocking.
I've never done that until that point. All these years, if I offer another apology right now, she'll be here yelling at me.
She didn't it affect her going to the grocery store?
Yeah, because she's one of these people. She shops like at nighttime.
Rogan's lucky he didn't get towed.
Well,
that his car was still there.
She came out there with her dog.
Yeah.
She's gonna sick her dog on you. So anyway, I think that's all the preliminary stuff. Thank you guys so much for the super chats and all that. Get into the meat of the show now. Now that
that's the appetizer.
That was the appetizer. A little amuse bouche.
Where's the sizzle? Now here's the steak.
Got probably like 175 between YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter, X. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep spreading the word. Mm-hmm. I made a video. And it was about a simple hack you can do to kind of make old school D&D less threatening. And it was interesting. More so like for the comments I was getting. Definitely getting some like, hey, there were a few like, hey, I never knew this. And then some people were like, I'm glad you said this. I've known about this little hack. And that is simply when you have a descending armor class system like old D&D, like an armor class of 2 is really good. You don't have to deal with like tables and matrix and THACO and all that stuff. All you need to do is get all your attack bonuses, base, strength, magic, all that stuff, and then just add your opponent's armor class to it. So if they had an armor class of 2 and you had everything else was like a +5, you just added another +2 to it. So you're, hey, I'm adding +7 to this roll, rolling it. Target number is always 20. In some ways, it's just as easy because you never have to know what the target number is. You just have to know what the AC is to add to the roll, as you would normally do in modern D&D as the target number. But, I also encountered a lot of people like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of like, don't make this any easier. And in some respects, I get it because you see what these goons have done to modern D&D. So I think some people are so gun shy. They're like, look, we don't want to make it any easier. Keep these fucking lunatics on the other side of the bench. And I do understand it. I do understand it. Thank you, GGW. Chasing 8s, yeah. I'm glad somebody's using that. Yeah, always fun.
Last time we played in your system, I had a Chasing 8 race about running up to my room to get cure poison or slow poison.
Oh yeah. It's great for that kind of stuff. Like against the clock, you got to beat the clock or do something.
Catch an opponent or
catch someone. Yeah, for chases.
Good suspense. Really put some tension.
It does. It does. It's very good.
I love doing videos like that. I love doing the culture war stuff. I also love doing stuff like that. A lot of times those videos don't do well. This one is doing pretty well, and I think it's just because I put Thaco in the title, and Thaco will always get a reaction.
Thaco puts asses in the seats.
It does. Crawford at a Crimson Craw. Give him something.
Like, you've got ogres.
I got some Todd Kenrick news, too. Little Todd Kenrick video. We need something like Alligator Alcatraz for all these gaming industry gays that are damaging our hobby. Ouch. We could call it Goblin Guantanamo.
Doesn't Alligator Alcatraz sound like a reality TV show?
It does. It does, yeah. I was thinking that. But like, what's that? We'll go here because my video and some of the reaction, which was perfectly understandable, by the way.
Is Ginny D in the news?
She will be. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get to her in a moment.
Because we have like 4 chats about Ginny D so far today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the video she did with D&D shorts.
Okay.
Too. Stick around. That's a little.
That's a teaser.
That's incentive for you to just stick around a little. We'll do that next. But it got me thinking, like, what is the future of the OSR? If we don't adapt and at least make it easier for some of these new people, are we doomed to die in 20, 25 years? Does it all, I don't want to say like all go away, but for all intents and purposes. Yeah, Running Man or American Gladiators. Our friend, of course, Condor has...
no bother.
Bring it.
He has some thoughts.
I'd like to hear this.
Of course he does.
He's always looking to...
Can I take a guess? He's in his room smoking a heater wearing all black. With black mold growing all around him.
Let's see.
Ah, that's a shocker.
All right, let's see what he has to say. See if he can shed any light on this.
Daggerheart really is a dagger in the heart of the old school part of the tabletop role-playing game hobby.
So he's gloating because Daggerheart's doing real good.
That's good.
It's a dagger to the heart.
Yeah. Hey.
Man, who couldn't have seen that joke coming?
Can I see some maple syrup, please?
Oh no, Daggerheart dwarf again.
It's the dagger in the heart for a lot of people. 5e failed. The new 2024 5e failed. WotC was taking a hit, and there were a lot of potential dedicated customers that were willing to move to a new game. And for a while, there was a window open, a door of opportunity for people to try to...
It's a window open, a door of opportunity, if you will. He's mixing his metaphors like so completely.
Look how proud he is right now, cracking a joke. Look at that smile.
He's very proud of himself. Adapt by playing Old Swords Reign. Yes, you are a fan, Axel. There you go. Old sword. Daggerheart.
Latch on to those young gamers. Well, sadly, Shadow Dark didn't do it.
He just makes all these grand pronouncements. Like, the old school got beat down by... Like, the old school was, like, waiting patiently as, you know, as D&D 2024 was failing. Like, oh, here's our chance. It's like, no, that didn't happen. All the old school games, all the retro clones like Dragon Slayer and they've already been out.
Right.
Retarded Merlin. Oh boy. Edgelord. You're always trying to get me into trouble.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah.
Exactly. God.
Please open a window.
Please open the window.
Remember how like Jeffrey Dahmer, when he lived in Milwaukee and he was carving up people and his neighbors like, what is that smell? Yeah. And he's like, oh, I bought some pork because it was expiring and I think it's going bad.
Pork, all right. Patrick Demo, more autistic rocking like a retarded metronome. I say it almost has like a simian quality. Like you're looking at the zoo like an ape that's just kind of like
you know,
going
right.
like, you know.
Absolutely.
Coco the chimp.
DB, go ahead and put that back up. I shall read it. I'd like to use my reaction to kick in that door of opportunity.
Yes.
Good one,
Chris.
DB.
Automatic success.
100%.
Oh, Chris, you saw I had a pretty good tweet or post on X about that where I had them side by side. I just had one word: uncanny.
Neither did any OSR game. Daggerheart came in and pretty much took all those lingering people that were upset with WotC and D&D. I mean, when those people, those dedicated customers, were ready to walk away from WotC, what did the old school have to offer? Here, you want a game that killed TSR, that runs off the majority of the old school gamers? Like, hey, new young crowd, will you like this? And the new young crowd said no. Well, what about our somewhat 5e alternative Shadow Dark game? Will you like that? No.
Shadow Dark just had like a hugely successful like Kickstarter for like their setting.
Do they sell it in Canada?
What's that?
Do they sell it in Canada? Because apparently he doesn't know.
They do, but I mean, he can't afford it.
It's probably not allowed in any of the gaming stores at all.
Remember, Rogan, he hates Double D, but he called me and you cocksuckers.
Oh, wow.
Cork soakers.
These cocksuckers, they don't like Daggerheart. Craig Bragg, thank you.
Yeah,
4-month member.
That's a high compliment from Monchi-Chi's alcoholic uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, Death Angels. Yeah, it was like 2 million or something. I didn't follow it to the end, but I mean, it was kicking ass. It's doing terrible. Once Daggerheart came along, Shadow Dark was dead.
And there goes a huge opportunity to bring in some replacement purchasing power in the old school. Because a small industry like the OSR of people making products for old games, that requires some replacement purchasing power because the audience or the customer base there is really old. They're already losing a lot of those customers. Some of them are going to age out and be too old to buy products and even play the game. Huh? Some of them, rapidly, people in the old school are dying every year. And they're...
Does he live in a time of Soylent Green?
I guess.
We're all going to age out. Next thing, we're going to be food.
Everybody's got their timers on their wrists like Logan's Run, and their time's coming up. Another year, boom. Excuse me. John Tate,
That's
one
awesome.
membership. Thank you very much, my
Excellent.
friend.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thanks, everybody.
The ironic thing is, he thinks people have such short memories. He was the 2E guy. His thing was like, oh, I love 2nd edition. That's my favorite game.
That's my jam.
That's my jam. Nobody talks about 2E like Condor.
Yeah, cork suckers.
Yeah, cork suckers.
Remember when Janet Jackson was on Saturday Night Live during that skit and she couldn't keep a straight face?
I do not.
It was.
I do not. No.
They were in Italy, and they were professional cork soakers.
Oh.
And
I think I get the gist.
Janet Jackson was the like Horatio Sands was in it, and maybe Jimmy Fallon, but like Janet Jackson could not keep a straight face during it at all.
It's tooth. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you here, Cal.
There's nobody really young coming in. It's not like a, put it this way, for every like 500 people they're losing, they might bring in one new young person.
Now, I was watching this, and of course, it's always fun to make fun of him, but does he have a point? That's what I'm wondering. Are we replacing ourselves, or are we doomed to just kind of keep trailing off? And I would just recommend, like, don't... This is why I do kind of like Shadow Dark, and why I think the OSR needs to broaden its definition just a little bit from just old school rules to kind of like games that pay homage to it. And I would absolutely include Shadow Dark in that. Get to that in a moment. I think some people who maybe don't like Shadow Dark, even if you don't like it, just realize it's kind of on this side. It's a game about like just going to a dungeon, kicking ass. It's not about fucking food festivals and stuff. And it's like, do we want to be? I'm not saying we need to be a big tent, but could we extend the tent just a little bit? I know it's not traditional OSR, but Castles and Crusades. Well, that's not OSR either. Well, it's OSR adjacent. Why not just call it OSR? Why not call Shadow Dark OSR? Why not pull these things to you and be like, embrace them and be like, yeah, I mean, this is the feel we want. Even if a couple of mechanics are different. And I showed you in my latest video how easy these mechanics are to hack because they're all based on the same damn game. I mean, all of this is. I'm just saying, like, a lot of you guys that are like being real hardcore, I'm just like, think about the future, Eckhart. Think about the future. Luis, 5 memberships, give him something he deserves.
I know that reference, by the way.
I knew you
Pay
did.
that man his money.
Mm-hmm. I always think of lines from Batman. 89 Batman. Yeah, the other day I was just at work and I was going down a set of steps and I was just thinking about what he's like. Have you shipped 1 million of those things? Do you remember that?
Ship 'em all!
Ship 'em all. We're gonna send them out a whole new door. What a great game, or what a great movie.
Can we start from the beginning?
Okay.
All right. Let's go back.
Shadow Dark.
Shadow Dark.
Daggerheart.
So
you're all caught up.
How are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Am I being too radical here? Even you guys that don't like Shadow Dark, and I know there's some of you love it, and they're like, yeah, bring it in. But I know there's some, they're like, no, this is how things go to hell. And I'm telling you, at some point you got to trust something. You got to trust Castles and Crusades. You have to trust Shadow Dark. Yeah, they're not traditional OSR, but just call them OSR. You know, bring them into the fold, man.
Double D, I think of all the different games we played over the years. In the D&D direction, the TSR stuff, Hackmaster we did for a while.
It's given us a unique perspective, hasn't it?
Yeah, but all the other games we played as well, and it's always been, not necessarily the mechanic of the game. It's like I enjoy role playing.
Yeah, so many people are like that too. That's the big.
And we have these discussions. You got your palm right on the heart of it right there, and I scratched my head and I'm like, well, why is there such division if this is kind of our hobby? Why are we splitting hairs on certain details? And honestly, I'm like, if you're not having, is this the mechanic so different that you can't have any fun with, that you can't roll dice to, and you can't open your imagination to?
Yeah, and if you can't. There's probably something wrong with you or your group because look, we ran 5e and we had fun with it for a while. Right. I mean, like first couple levels, it was kind of cool. It got a little heavy like later on, a little bit more unworkable. But you can have fun, with just about every one of these systems. And Chris Miller, says here, unless we can appeal to the millions of woke 5e players, OSR D&D will unfortunately go the way of the dodo. There's only so many kids interested in old school play styles. Yes, that's why you can't be so provincial. And you got to be like, all right, do things like, you're afraid of this retro clone. What if, you just added this scary number, this THACO, or the opponent's armor class? But, and I see it in the comments, and instead you get a bunch of arguments from people like, that's not really how you should do it, Double D. You really need to put this on the other side of the equation. It's like, I just wish all of you people would listen to me, because in a lot of things, you're smarter than me in a lot of things, but some of you guys don't know how to win. You don't know how to appeal to people in the middle. And I'm here to tell you, if you can just say, hey, you tired of those fucking night markets? You tired of adventures revolving around hot wings? You tired of all that stupid bullshit? Come on over here. We got something for all of you in the OSR. Look, if you're looking for, kind of a straight 5e, sort of a strip down, go to town on Shadow Dark. 2e, between 2e and 3, Castles and Crusades. If you want to keep it really, real, then you go Dragon Slayer, Hyperborea. By the way, next week, Jeff Talanian from Hyperborea will be in the lair.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, on air or in the house? Like he's coming to visit?
He's not coming to visit. He's up in New Hampshire, I think. Axel, just pull an EVS and brand Dungeon Gate. There you go. It's one way to do it, right? Badger, $5. In Professor DM's latest vid, the most positive thing he could say about Daggerheart was that it had high production values. Yeah, I mean, I went through it a couple weeks ago. It's a garbage game, and anybody who's telling you that it's not, like this fat retard here, he's lying, and he's just doing it because it's a way for him to get its positive sales, which I don't doubt are a way to get at the old school. But he's just using it as a cudgel. He doesn't care because he's a 95 IQ.
He'll get
moron.
10 views. 8 of them are his own views, and 5 likes. That's all
as always. Our buddy Richard Shark, give him something.
Quasimodo predicted all this. Who did what?
Always brings a smile. Shadow Dark certainly is OSR D&D. Yep, the haters can choke on napalm. Amigo. Any honest reading of Shadow Dark would convince a person of Shadow Dark's authenticity and loyalty to OSR gaming. Yes. And the problem you have is you have edgelords who want to say like, oh, you're just you're just chasing Kelsey Dion's tail. Like, oh man, you're nothing but a simp. Double D, it's like, no, it's like you're missing the point.
Mama's wrong again.
Mm-hmm. Mama is wrong again.
No
DM.
pun intended. You're wrong.
A lot of older DMs, myself included, don't play any specific system. We really just run our own version of basic or advanced. There you go. I think a lot of otherwise OSR supporting DMs do this. We're all shits. Thank you very much, DM Doom. I think at some point you owe something to the future of not just the hobby, but like the movement itself. And look, are you going to leave it in the hands of someone like Joe Goodman? Because he could claim like, yeah, we're kind of OSR. This is a way for you to say like, no, asshole, you're not. Shadow Dark is, at least until you start fucking toning down some of your bullshit. Spring Gypsy for 5. Had a drunken debate with Stefan. Oh my God, in the bar at GaryCon 8 years ago about how OSR was dying. He wasn't worried. I was. I had an argument with him about AOC online. I'm like, dude, you're supporting a communist. I'm like, and
Is that the Jenny from the Block girl? Is AOC the one that keeps saying she's from the Bronx and she's really not?
Yeah. Big teeth, big eyes.
But that's her claim is she's from the Bronx and she's really not.
Yeah, she grew up in like, I'm a bartender, but she's kind of like, what's her name? Kamala. I grew up in Oakland. Well, you're kind of in Berkeley. Then you were kind of in Canada in a prep school. It's like, how much time did you spend there? Yeah, all liars. But they'll use it because, it'll appeal to some. Matthew Pickard for $5. If you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to the lowest common denominator, which in turn makes audience capture a real pickle. Understood, and I agree, Matthew, but you're not appealing to everybody. You're like, oh, you have a system that might fit in the OSR, but you're Joe Goodman, and you literally cannot stop virtue signaling. Fuck off.
Stop the presses. Who's that?
miss out running a game for my birthday with friends and family. Nice.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Nixit.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Nixit. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
If you do it this way, you can keep people like that out. Because you can say there's people like Kelsey Dion. All right. Not only does she not hate her fans, she's very positive and responsive. And no, you're not a fucking simp if you like the game or think that she's, a good example of, how to be a good business owner in this environment.
Her product proves her love for the game. For the game.
You've read the book. We're playing the game right now. We're testing the game.
Love it.
I mean, is there any fucking food festivals? It's old school D&D is about it's random encounter tables. How many fucking encounter tables and charts are in there?
I was surprised how many there were. And that's awesome.
Yeah. You can make the game pretty fucking deadly, and I would encourage using some of those rules. Get rid of the power nap. If you're gonna go with something a little more stripped down, get rid of the power nap at least. But yeah, it's a great game. Why? Like I said, include it in, invite it in like a vampire. Come in. Be one of us. Instead, you cede it to them. And now they're stronger. And it's because a lot of you people don't know how to win. It's because you don't understand. You can't separate right now friend from foe. 213, Ryan Nikolai. My buddy affectionately calls her Horseface, talking about AOC. Yes, she is.
Got another birthday.
Big titties.
Shadow and Sun.
Ooh, Shadow and Sun.
That would be the sun.
Yeah, the sun.
All right.
Happy birthday to Sun. Oh, Daggerheart and Critical. Okay, Matthew. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, but I guess, and I appreciate that, but I guess the point still, applies because I think even if it's not you, I think there are some people out there who are really worried about, we can't invite Shadow Dark in, Kelsey might be a secret liberal. Well, who cares? As long as it's secret, who cares? It's the way it used to be. I keep saying, guys, there's going to come a point where just bitching about stuff ain't going to be enough. And, I don't necessarily, it's fun to make fun of guys like Condor and, Matt Mercer and these guys, but man, at some point you got to start, producing stuff, and thinking about the future. And I'm working on producing stuff. Met with another artist. I'm hiring him. It's going to be really good. I'm really jammed for this adventure. Let's see. Any others up here? Yep, Daggerheart, Critical Role. We get them all, buddy?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Yeah, Mac. Kelsey is a liberal, but she keeps her politics. Yes, she wants to play games. Like I said, I have met her in person. She was the sweetest, nicest, most professional. Always smiling, always like, hi, how you doing? Always had time for fans. Good God.
She seemed very appreciative.
Yeah. And like I said, the Troll Lord games are great, but still some people are like, well, it's got ascending armor class. Oh my God. Guys, it pays homage to old D&D. Shadow Dark pays homage to old D&Ds. You gotta like I said, we gotta broaden our market here. Because I know there is a ton of people in probably 5e who are just silently languishing like, well, shit, I guess this is all there is out there. And if we're put on a face of like, well, stay away from here if you're a 5e player, what are they supposed to do? If you don't invite them and say, hey, we may have something under this tent here. The one thing you can't do is you can't bring your stupid, bisexual lighting and, all these, there's no fucking pronouns in the game. If you invite them in and tell them that, hey, you could have a good time here. Who knows? So I'm begging you guys first. I'm not even talking about creators, and maybe me and Jeff. I think Jeff Talanian will agree with this because we actually did kind of briefly touch on this when we were at Origins. How many OSR devoted cons are out there? Is North Texas one? Oh, North Texas is definitely OSR. Spring Gypsy. Yeah, thank you for 2. Yeah. Yeah, North Texas is huge. In
Should
the
we
OSR.
set up more?
Well, there's VentureCon. VentureCon is like hardcore OSR.
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a couple weeks. Hope you guys can go. And then there's Central New York Con, which is not, it's old school. Maybe it doesn't say OSR, but it's old school. Faux shizzle. And I'm sure there's some I'm missing. I'm sure the chat will be.
How about Jeff Hatch's?
HatchCon in Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Yeah, he's trying to start something down there. So
we're trying to corner the, get some every corner of the country.
Yeah. And look, guys, I'm also telling you this. You can't be afraid to plant your flag in places. I went to Origins, and that may have surprised some of you. We went to Gen Con last year. That may have surprised some of you. But, at Origins this year, I run into Jeff Talanian from Hyperborea. Now, all of a sudden, he's coming on the channel. Well, that doesn't happen if Jeff Talanian's like, I'm not going to Origins. It's run by Gamma, and they're woke retards. No. He went there to sell games, and you know what? He was doing pretty good. I asked him, I'm like, how you doing here, Jeff? And he's like, when I talked to him, I think it was towards the like the weekend. I think the first couple days he covered all his costs. So it's like, I think from then on it was all profit for him. So if you don't, I said this in the live stream. If you're a Roman Catholic missionary, are you going to go to Africa or are you going to go to Sicily? Where are you going to do your mission? You going to go up to Florence? Are you going to try to go to China or Tibet? Can you please remove the trash panda from the screen? Let's listen.
Into the old school part of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. And that means there goes all your purchasing power. Like, this was a huge opportunity. And I was preaching about the purchasing power problem the old school has, or the OSR has. And I was preaching it because, well, here comes an opportunity. WotC has upset a lot of people. There's a lot of people that normally wouldn't be open-minded right now. Does anybody have something to offer other than what killed TSR? Not really. And Shadow Dark just wasn't it. It was an alternative to 5e, but it wasn't the alternative most young people from the...
He has no reason at all to say this. He has no clue. He just off the top of his head.
He is so consistent about not knowing a goddamn thing, but wanting to talk about it.
Yes.
Very consistent.
I'm 40% positive he's 100% confused.
Yes, yeah. Well said. Look at this guy. $20.
Bam.
Shark. What does he get?
Bitter dregs.
I got to remember to add the other parts of that poem, that song. Let the haters be ruthlessly crushed. Kelsey is always treated and spoken with people like an absolute sweetheart. Shadow Dark has no stupid politics and embraces every faithful OSR value from start to finish. Yep. That's why I am all about OSR as keep your politics out, but as long as it has the right feel, we're good. You're in my book, you're OSR. And you guys who are just like, no, it's this very specific set of games, Double D. Well, enjoy the final 20 years as we wind ourselves out of existence.
No, it does not.
Spring Gypsy. Is it Sping or Spring? I see Sping.
It says Sping.
Yeah.
It says Sping. Spin Gypsy.
Oh, Spin Gypsy. I had always seen that as Spring Gypsy. Like, he's a gypsy in the spring.
WotC world we're looking for. And how could I be mad at Daggerheart?
How?
How could I be mad at the people that made that game?
How could I be mad at Daggerheart? They gave me everything I need to go after the old school.
They're taking an opportunity that was there, and the old school never took it. They had their chance, never took it. That seems to be the entire history of the old school. Always having an opportunity at success, but never knowing how to take it, or even wanting to take it.
Far be it from me, but does he have a point there? That's all I'm saying. Don't make
Does he
Condor
wipe
right.
his ass on the
I
wall?
think he does. I mean,
Stop it. We're trying to run a show
Yeah.
here.
yeah, the
Oh my
trimmer
God.
on
Because they
that door
want to take a
says,
failed
tell
idea
stories.
and make it work when
Only
it simply
5 years
won't
old,
work.
Jimmy Christmas.
I mentioned recently about a study with rats, because rats' behavior can, well, they can relate some of their behavior to us. That's why there's
rats?
He said rates.
Rats.
Rats behavior.
Rats and bats.
so much experimenting with rats. And they took these pairings.
Maybe
One
he
was a
meant to
big
write rats at the end of his book and said he wrote bats.
He misspelled it, yeah.
rat and a small rat. And they had several different pairs. And they had them play together. Well, in the first group, the big rat would win 100% of the time. And after the first day, small rat wouldn't play games anymore. Completely stopped.
That was little Condor Rat.
And he's still healing from it.
On guard.
Now what happened to Condor's big brother, the one who took his wife?
When they went to look at other pairings, they found a pairing where, the small rat was still playing. Continued to play. Well, what made that small rat keep playing? Well, the big rat, even though the big rat
Just
could
sounded
win
like
100%
Barack Obama right there.
of the time, the big rat was
Lord.
allowing the small rat to win 30 to 50% of the time. And though that victory is what kept the little rat coming back. It's a stimulation is what they're getting. And us humans need something similar. Like no matter how much failure you put into something, there has to be a bit of stimulation, reward for surviving, some acknowledgement. You can't go into a game where you fail over and over again.
believe so.
Even while you're still playing the character. Character's not dead, but you're failing all the way through. Failing, tripping up, failing. It's a psychological thing for people, and it drives them away from the game. People do not like to fail all the time.
Which one? Oh, he stole it from Jordan Peterson, did he, Ryan? Okay, yeah, thank you.
Every time I feel bad at myself, I'm going to watch this video.
Well, 30% of the time, little rat always wins. 70% he gets his wife taken by big brother rat.
Well, that's only because
Vulture
one rat's playing chess, the other one's playing checkers.
Shout out to DB. Been following him on X lately. Yeah. Spin Gypsy. Now I'll do it. Spin Gypsy. It's a good follow on X is DB. But yeah, I'm just saying. No, I think he's going off the rails here. Like, everybody needs to win.
60% of the time,
it works.
100%.
Look, 60% of the time, Daggerheart kicks ass 100% of the time.
Can't argue with those numbers.
This is Condor math. Kenneth Scharar. Don't know if I've ever seen you before.
Welcome.
$4.99. Thank you. Welcome. Enchantress with giant tatas will keep the losers away. Yep. Thaco is unnecessary. Ascending AC and offensively hot babes are the way. Yeah, that's a good point, Kenneth. I'll get to that in a moment. Patrick's in a moment. The OSR is so stained and compromised. Hate to use the word stained while we're watching Condor, but unfortunate.
Yellow in the front, brown in the back.
But like that, almost like Thaco doesn't. You don't even need to worry about it. It's just the word OSR by now has been so perverted by these people that like I said, Thaco or ascending or descending. It doesn't matter. That's why I say just embrace who it's coming from, and then just embrace the feel of what the game should be. Open it up a little. Patrick, 5. If people don't like failing all the time, why does he still make YouTube videos? Yeah, with like 20 views. It's a good question, Patrick. I don't think he will ever have the self-reflection to ask himself that. No, there you go. He did. He quit one time, and then he kind of like Hitler in the bunker. You know, when Hitler said, "You know what? The German people didn't deserve me. I don't care if they go down in flames." It's essentially what Condor did the first time he walked away about a year and a half ago. He's like, my audience, they didn't get me, so screw them.
He was dealing with the real life heartbreak.
Well, yeah, that's true. He's probably was not in a good place mentally. Wait, all due respect.
Is he now?
Yeah, well, I think he was getting better for a time, but you can just tell now he's stopped exercising. He's back to the old. I'm always a victim.
He's not wearing his teeth.
Yep, not wearing his teeth. But he loves Daggerheart.
It's not a thing, and that's what drove TSR, the company, into the ground. Their AD&D First Edition, even though it did appeal to a minority.
What do you mean appeal to a minority? AD&D First Edition was the game for as long as it was the game. 5 from Sharky. Condor needs a big, strong 400-pound black woman to show him how to behave.
She can't get there. The lift won't pick her up, remember?
Oh, yeah. What was what was her name again?
The rapper from Detroit.
The rapper. Dank Damas.
Yep.
Ended up being such a grind for almost 90% of the customer base that it drove those customers away from TSR and into the arms of other games. As I pointed out, back in the day, the purchasing power wasn't much. The majority of customers could afford one game. That was it. So that's where they dedicate their money.
What?
I don't.
Not true.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about. You don't have a freaking clue.
I don't think you could afford more than one game. I'll have to meet the wife for dinner. All right, Spin Gypsy. Thank you very much for repping it over there on Rumble, my friend. Catch the rest later.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
And if you lost that dedicated money, you weren't getting it back. Now they were vampire people. Now they were playing Palladium or playing some
grown up
game.
And blown out.
Either way, that's a loss of money. And Second Edition could not save the company or bring all that, that money back.
So he'll keep like dissing 2E, and then he remembers like, oh shit, I'm supposed to like 2E.
Money was gone. We drew some people back, but it wasn't enough to hold TSR up. Again, what killed TSR? It wasn't Second Edition, because Second Edition was an attempt to make it a little less grindy, a little less failure
what killed
all
Second
the time.
Edition?
More of a better
video. Video killed the radio star, right?
That's right.
Chance for the player to succeed, which ended up being better. Second Edition kept, it went pretty strong.
Plus
well
20 on Rumble.
Awesome. Even after TSR flopped, and Second Edition kept going strong even after WotC brought out Third Edition. Second Edition still ruled the online world, and in many places, it was still the majority of games that you could find.
No, it wasn't. He's talking about what 2E was after Third Edition came out.
Right.
It just proves to me he has no clue. Like, you have no idea, like, how people were, like, kind of like starving. Maybe in retrospect it was kind of foolish, but people were just starving for a new edition of D&D. So third edition was everything in 2000.
It exploded.
Yeah, Mercurius with his membership. Thank you very much, buddy.
So
Steady
kind.
Eddie. Give him something.
Let's find something.
He is grandfathered in. He gets something.
Are you happy?
There's Madam Hecuba.
I hope the old
Salee.
school looks back at this Daggerheart
Kenplay.
thing and realizes...
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a dagger to the heart.
Dagger to the heart.
Dagger. A cut to the opportunity they had for a small period of time. There was a small window because the chance of getting customers from WotC over to anywhere is quite hard.
All right, I'm going to turn him off here because he's kind of rambling. There's no one person in charge of the OSR, so there could be no plan, Condor. Like, you know that as well as anybody. So there was no all right, let's wait and as 2024 stumbles. Well, it's like plus all the pretty much every retro clone you need is out now. Like, we do not need one more retro clone. Like, there's one for every flavor. We've got some really good ones. Like I said, I would argue that we should add a couple with some more updated mechanics. And I'm not saying those updated mechanics are great or better. I'm just saying they got the right feel. Craig, $10. What do we got? Crazy Mouse.
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me and he's not even going to try.
Very apropos. So that WF Wonderfield guy who ranted about a future without white people took the video down. Yeah, and then he got rid of it. He ejected his account on Twitter. Please tell me someone had the good sense to make him into a Wojak. Yeah, maybe. Maybe somebody did. Thank you very much, sir. Andy Bayless, $4.99. Rarely able to join live. Just wanted to show a little appreciation. Thank you, buddy. Yeah,
absolutely.
Keep putting the hot sauce on the taco.
Definitely,
we will do
that's
that.
what we're here for.
Yeah, we'll do that, Andy. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Wayne Brock. Good to see you too, amigo. You get something for your 10.
You now, you son of a bitch.
Your daisy if you do.
Love your wisdom. Watch often. No offense, but I feel childish, so I'm giving 10 and paying for the sin so I can say, F you, man. Thank you very much, Wayne.
We got more.
Your life would be so much simpler if you all just listened to me. I have it all figured out. Snake O'Shawn, again. I think he's got another one. Another one. Maybe another one.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
Thank you very much, Sean. 5 memberships. Much appreciated. All you guys that give memberships and super chat, especially you guys that do it week in, week out, it really does mean a lot to us.
It does.
Thank you. We craved crunch back then. 3.5 delivered. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie and try to be like, oh, I hated 3. No, long time. I like 3, and there's still elements of 3 I really, really do like. Like I said, it did kind of change the landscape of gaming. I would argue probably not for the better in retrospect, but man, we had a lot of great games of 3E, man. Just great.
Epic,
yeah. Cal, can we get something better to look at now? Even Ginny D, yes, we'll get rid of it.
Your name is Toby.
Yes, remember that too. Look at this guy. He's at it again too. Give him something. I'm very generous tonight.
Dr. Harris.
Yes?
Do you concur?
Why didn't I concur?
Why didn't I concur? Thank you, Mercurius. All right, D&D Shorts and Ginny D teamed up.
So the mid-1970s were the Wild West for TTRPGs. Pre-satire...
D&D Shorts, of course, a huge channel. Not a huge guy. I met him in an elevator at Gen Con. He didn't know who I was, and I didn't say anything. But we were the only two there. We just kind of nodded at each other. When he left, he's like, "Have a good con," and I'm like, "You too, buddy." He is probably 5'2" and 115 pounds.
Panic, first edition of D&D, and they're writing the rules as they go along. One of my favorite things to flick through is the Old Dragon magazine, launched in 1976, which contained official expansions to the core Dungeons & Dragons rules. And some of these early expansions are insane, like beyond your wildest nightmares. They're also amazing as a piece of history for this entire industry, and they are objectively hilarious to look back on today. Case in point, women in D&D from the third ever edition of Dragon magazine. Obviously, these rules are not very PC, but this isn't meant to be like a takedown video. It was a very different time. We're going back...
I'll give him that much credit, even though he does say this ain't a takedown video. It is a takedown video. He's not obnoxious about it. He's a little squirrely, him and Ginny D. DB for 2. Take your medicine, monkeypox inbound. Oh boy.
50 years. We'll actually talk about how the designers who wrote this in the 70s look back on it today, because it's really interesting to see them discuss this original material with a modern lens. But what's even more interesting is how wild these rules actually are. But I'm not alone. I found a white woman digging through the trash outside my home like a starving raccoon. So let's see what she thinks. Ginny, you are women, correct?
I am. I'm all women.
Well, as
Our
woman,
favorite.
I want to see if you can pass this test. I'm going to read you out rules for playing as a woman in D&D First Edition. Some of them are real, and some of them are fake. And I want you to tell me which ones you think are real. In 1E, women do not have charisma scores. Instead, They have a beauty score, which determines the outcome of all social encounters.
True or false? Let's play along at home, boys.
I'm gonna say false.
Crazy mouse.
Women don't have charisma scores. They have beauty. I'm going to say true.
Okay, we'll see if you're right. I already saw this, so I'm not going to comment. Ryan Nikolai, $2. Can she define it?
We got a couple more to catch up on.
All right, yep, that's fine. How are they looking back on it? Aren't they dead? Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Like I said, he says this isn't a hit job. It kind of is. Axel, women are different than men. Imagine that. Yeah. Ooh, $10.
I'll put you out of your misery. Say when.
Say when.
Come on, him. He just drunk.
He just drunk, that's all. Chris Miller, $10. Speaking of gaming magazines, wouldn't it be cool if there were still a non-woke print magazine for OSR gamers? That would be mad, as in mad Scribe. I got good news for you guys. The second quarter issue is coming, and Chris has promised to have some largesse and bestow some copies upon me for, let's say, dispersal to the fans. And that issue has an adventure written by yours truly in it. So, hopefully pretty soon we will have that, and you guys can bask in its glory, and then hopefully go out and buy Mad Scribe magazine.
By the way, we're getting some. It's a lot of trues and some falses in the chat.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, so I know about this one. I know that this is real, unless you're trying to trick me by like, oh, it's in 1E. You said it was 1E, but it's in AD&D or something. But I do know.
Yeah, no. 1E and AD&D are the same thing. It's okay, Ginny. It's okay.
I know about this one, and I read up on it because it's wild to me. First of all, because it basically reduces a woman's charisma to her looks. There's no way a woman could be charismatic in any other way. But also, it implies that men can't be beautiful, which is so sad.
Yeah, it is true.
It is
You're
true. Men are not beautiful. Okay, men are not beautiful. Men can be ruggedly handsome, like we were talking about Henry Cavill off air, right?
Henry Cavill.
Dreamy.
Crazy Mouse has a crush on Henry Cavill.
That's a good look. He's a good-looking dude.
Absolutely dreamy.
Oh, has it been shipped? Oh, cool. All right, so next week, barring a catastrophe in the mail, we will have it. Can't wait to see it, Chris. As I keep telling you guys, instead of just sitting back and being like, oh, things will get better. I wish things would get better. Reach out to Chris. You have an idea for an article. Reach out to Chris. Would you like this? I can write this. He may be open to it.
Right, this is true. So all women's charisma-based abilities are dictated by their beauty score specifically. But yeah, as a flip side, it also means that men can't be hot, which we know is not true.
Absolutely not true.
Okay.
All right. So again, look at the roots of all this. This is fantasy pulp fiction. This is Robert E. Howard. Yes, where the women were reduced to their beauty. And aside from, like Conan, who was just assumed to be, because he was so muscular that all the girls wanted him, but they never said, oh, Conan is so beautiful. Could you imagine if Robert E. Howard wrote, and, Conan walked into the room, blood dripping from his axe. He was so beautiful. Yes. Oh my God, he's so pleasant to look at.
Those steely blue eyes. Those high cheekbones.
Yes. Oh my God, we loved him so much.
You sounded like in The Nutty Professor when Sherman Klump's sitting on the couch falling asleep watching videos and he does an impression of Richard Simmons.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this kind of relates to the next one, actually. So, witches, spellcasting women of a sufficient level are called witches.
Got it.
Witches with a beauty score of 5 or below who successfully seduce a man will, instead of actually seducing him, scare him to death. True or false?
Oh my god, I hope that's true. Can we bring that back?
I agree. This is true, and this is the best.
True?
This is my favorite one.
hater.
Yeah. It's like if you're.
I love that rule. I don't know. So ugly, you scare a man to death.
If your Riz game is aggressive enough, men will kill themselves when you try to talk to them.
I was just gonna say this like takes the misogyny and wraps it all the way back around almost into like a power fantasy where you're like, you can literally make men kill themselves with the way that you look and act.
Okay, so I heard you.
Yeah. Hey.
Not misogyny, but what's its counterpart? Oh, I can't think of it. Misandry?
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes.
Feedback about wanting a more politically driven campaign, and we can totally do that. Oh, great! Yeah, let's go!
Shit.
Okay, so
Sorry,
this
guys.
dragon is pro-gun, but anti-vax. I'm gonna need you... No! What? That is not a political D&D campaign. Those are political issues of the day. That's what you asked for. That is not what we asked for! Oh, come on, give it a try. I've got this gnome NPC coming up, and he's got some very loud opinions on women's rights. We wanted a game of moral intrigue, falling empires, deep, complex moral choices. Oh, well then let's just play Pilgrims of the Empire's End. Pilgrims of the Empire.
Sorry, guys. Double D didn't do his job here. And get out the. Oh, there we go. Got that. There we go.
Adult women have a lower base wisdom score than adult men, or a young boy, or a young girl.
Oh. I kind of feel like this one's false, because when I was looking up gendered ability scores, I feel like strength was the one that I saw as being different between the genders. But
What do we think here, boys?
I'm going to say false.
Crazy mouse. Adult women in D&D have a lower base wisdom score than adult men, young boys, and young
I'm gonna have
girls.
to change mine.
That's false.
All right, consensus is false.
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, do you think it's possible? Like having, do you think it's possible they could give
Everybody in
an
the chat,
adult
true,
woman
true,
a
true.
lower base wisdom score than
Than
a
young
girl,
woman.
like a child
Yeah.
girl?
That's so weird. I mean, I guess it is possible because anything's possible and people do stupid things all the time. But it seems unlikely. I also feel like if you're going to be sexist, you're going to be just as sexist to young women as you are to older ones. Like wisdom especially.
Yeah.
Like if it was saying, "Oh, young women have a higher beauty score," then I'd be like, "Yeah, sounds about right for the way that these people think." But I don't know about wisdom. I'm going to say false.
You know what? You're right. This is false, but it's a bit of a trick question because it is a real thing. It's just not from this set of rules. But you're right. In this set of rules, women are just down on strength. Everything else is the same.
All right, so what are we saying then about old school rules? That they were realistic, that women are not as strong as men, that they came from wargaming, and they were like, oh, well, we have to factor this in because
Right.
the average woman is not nearly as strong as the average man. You know, something that's true. I mean, heaven forbid. Oh my God, I know. Shark, come on. Enough. Stop.
But I'm gonna go with my instinct on this one. Saddle up, partner.
What a great movie.
I love that.
Very good movie.
Ever known a plain or average-looking woman that smiled bright and was sweet as honey? All charisma, yes. Women don't need to be smoke shows to be attractive. That is absolutely. Yeah, men gravitate to women like that all the time. Yeah.
True story.
Which I can understand, that's the classic definition of charisma, and I'm all about it. But I also see how these guys at the beginning are like, well, look, we're looking at the average Conan story from Robert E. Howard or Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. With who's Ivana or whatever, I can't remember. I can never remember their names where they got killed in.
I just listened to that on audio a couple weeks back. The two of them. They
that
was brutal.
shacked up with them, hooked up, and then they got killed. And then they went on a
Didn't
rampage.
see that coming.
Yeah, but they're just viewing him like that. So it's like I can understand why at the very beginning it's like it's pretty much all. And plus, they had no idea how this charisma was going to affect the game. So.
But this is from a third-party book called The City-State of the Invincible Overlord, which was released in the same year and was approved for use with D&D. But it is third-party, technically.
That's so weird. That also feels like one of the few things that historically most cultures have agreed on is like wise older women. Like that, it feels like once women stop being beautiful, the only thing we've got is being wise, being a wise old
You
lady.
can get the wise, they take it away from you. Yeah. I don't really know what they're going for, but yeah, it's a thing. Very interesting. Okay, we'll do a simpler one. What do you reckon about this? Women are better thieves than men. True or false?
My experience, I'll say yes.
Rogan knows all too well.
In the old D&D, most of the pictures are... Who's that famous thief in the D&D? She's the woman, Luna, or... No, what's her name?
Oh, you talking about the third edition one?
Or something like that?
No. It was it does have an N. Guys, who was the halfling with, I hate to say it, the nice rear end in 3E? Lidda. It was Lidda,
yeah.
I think. Lidda. Yeah. So I mean, look, the female thief.
Snake oil was all over that.
Yep.
So I'm going to say that's true.
I just keep thinking of a certain woman that Rogan used to date who went back and stole the tip from the
There's
table.
a tip thief and other
the
things.
tip thief. God.
She was good in bed, though.
I feel like I could make the argument for why somebody might think that. But I know that thief is like such a sort of iconic like D&D character, archetype that it would shock me if they were like, oh, it should be a woman. Well, first of all, women tend to be physically smaller, so I could see leaning towards like, oh, it's easier to be sneaky, But the sort of misogynist angle on it would be like, women are thieves who are out for money.
She always goes to like, oh, there has to be some misogynist reasoning for it.
It feels risky to keep saying false. I'm going to say it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. This is true, but not for the reason that you said. It's nothing to do with their size or dexterity, but high-level women thieves can cast spells. You don't have to have any levels in like a magic caster at all. If you're a high-level woman and a thief, you can cast magic where male thieves just can't. You do have to have a intelligence score of 12 or higher. Except for the spell seduction, you can do that even if you're stupid, apparently.
Right.
But,
that makes sense.
But yeah, interesting. So women, like if you're optimizing back in the day, you want to play a thief. It is probably optimal to play a woman.
Yeah. So it's all this horrible like misogynistic stuff that actually gave women a huge advantage, like in the game,
which is very interesting. So you got that one right. Yeah, you went with your gut and you were right. Yeah, absolutely. On this, we're kind of in the spellcasting era now.
Okay.
I want to hit you with this one. Beautiful women get access to special spells that, I'm putting this in air quotes here, ordinary and quote-unquote ugly women do not get access to.
I feel like that lines up with everything we've been talking about so far. And also it's so stupid because it's not like there's any sort of inherent... like you're deciding if your character is beautiful or not. It's just incentivizing you to describe your character as beautiful, to like pick beauty as a trait. It's such a stupid thing to optimize around. It's not like... whatever. But I think probably that's true.
Okay, I don't know if it'll affect your choice, but I will say you can't choose your scores in 1E. I think
so it's fully randomized.
Yeah, so it's a random beauty score between 2 and 20 is what a female character has, using these character creation points. So you can't just choose to be beautiful.
Is that true? Well, that doesn't sound true to me. Is he reading that the right way?
Jacob's saying you roll 3 dice 6.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
But I don't think you have to roll it 3 dice 6 down the line. I mean, you can, but
Matthew's questioning the 2 to 20.
Yeah, I mean, he seems so sure that now I'm starting to wonder. He probably is right on that, but 2 to 20. I don't know.
Kind of given what you get in 1E.
I see. I didn't realize because
Waru
now we get
Taniki
to...
says that it was the original way. 3 dice 6 down the line. Like, keep in mind, I think like mass market D&D started with the magenta box. Like that's when it was in the stores. That's when like across the country, coast to coast, people are like, oh, what is this D&D thing? So if it started there, that's fine. DB for 2. They're talking about some dude's homebrew in Dragon. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's just it. If this is all based on an article in Dragon number 3, I mean, could you have plumbed depths that were any lower?
Like even if we roll scores, we get to pick where we put them. I didn't realize that was not true in earlier D&D. Yeah, I guess that makes slightly more sense, at least, in that it's not just incentivizing you to
comeliness. I remember the comeliness stat.
To play a beautiful character. It's like you're just randomly getting a bonus or not. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards still thinking that it's true just because... But you also said that the seduction spell, if you're ugly, can kill people. And seduction seems like one of those spells that would be gated to a higher beauty score if there were spells gated to a higher beauty score. So maybe it's false. I'm going to say false. Final answer.
Yeah, you got it. It's false. Yeah, for the exact reason that you said. Absolutely. You don't get different spells, you don't get extra spells, but the spells you cast do different things depending on how beautiful you are.
Rob McCanna for close enough to 10. I think he owes.
Yeah, we got
something for him, don't we?
I love knowledge. Hey, Double D!
D&D Short shocks us and ambushes Ginny by veering into all the buffs that women got in older editions suddenly. It's kind of sounds like he's doing that.
None of this is true, though. We know none of this is true.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, but it's like...
Right.
We want...
Good job. Like, I haven't been counting, but I feel like you've got almost all of these correct. Pretty much all of them. So you're doing really well. There's only a couple left.
I probably get like half points on some. I do feel like you kind of led me to the right answer on this one by being like, if it changes your answer, here's some information. And then I
just wanted to make sure you said something. You were like, oh yeah, because you can just choose to be beautiful.
Right,
but yeah,
right.
in the earlier rules, it's...
Yeah, Cal, the patriarchal gaming fiefdom is always guilty of eternal sins. Yeah, we were born with it, weren't we? We suffer the stain of original sin. Oh my God. Gary Gygax was a white male. He had some interesting views of feminists. Therefore, you're all guilty. I mean, some of us relish in it, but still.
A lot more like cutthroats. Like, I think you get what you get. Which when people talk about liking original edition D&D, I think they really like that brutality. They're like, there's none of this like modern sensibilities of like, play what you want. It's very much like, no, you play what you're given.
I feel like if you stripped all of the like weird, dated, like sexist and racist shit out of these earlier editions, it could be fun to play a game where like everything's fully randomized and you just have to deal with what you get. Like, I think there's appeal to that in some ways.
It just shows how she's been a D&D YouTuber for how long. It just proves how little like she knows.
She's done it so much. She's had several years of burnout.
Yeah. God.
Damning burnout.
Strip away all the racist and misogynist stuff. I mean, with all due respect, Ginny, fuck off. I mean, good Lord.
Especially if you're playing like a sort of meat grindery game where like death is more common and you're just trying to like make it to the end. And then maybe when you roll up a new character, maybe you'll get lucky and it'll be better than the last one that you had. Like, I could see the fun of that. But of course, randomizing your beauty score for female characters only, that I don't think is nearly as fun.
Get this one. This is potentially a cool one. If a male cleric gets a 7 or below to resist a woman's seduction, they have sex, and the cleric loses their celibacy and all perks associated with being celibate.
You know, if you're making stuff up, you're doing such a good job making it sound like it's part of the real rules. I could absolutely see that being true. Because there is such a weird obsession with, like, imagining your characters being forced to have sex in, like, early D&D.
They are so obsessed with this.
It is nuts.
They are so obsessed with this. I'm going to go right into something right after this to show you how obsessed they are. And honestly, this kind of makes sense. It's the classic tale of like tempting the good man, the pure, almost like like the Sir Galahad, like being tempted. Yeah, women would never go on adventures in the first place. Yeah, that's true. It'd be hard. I'd break a nail. Yeah, bardic aggravation. Has she never heard of Shadow Dark? Apparently not.
You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
They're getting a good stretch today. All these. We're up to 232. Thank you guys very, very much.
It does feel like there's a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, that's such a weird thing to do.
No, you're right. Like, I haven't thought about it, but you're right. It is like a theme.
It's so specific that makes me worry that it's false, but it would I do think that all of the pieces of that make sense. Like, it would make sense that if you played a cleric, you'd have to be celibate, but then there would be like, oh no, it's a trap. You're going to be uncelibate if this woman seduces you.
So what happens if a fighter intimidates an evil witch? And she loses the roll, so she drops everything, makes him a sandwich, and irons his loincloth.
I would like that.
Right.
Those are the kind of rules.
Lose shit. Why not the witch?
I mean, it's just this whole like, oh, we got to run away from seduction in the game. Like, why? I mean, remember Conan the Barbarian, the witch, kind of trying to seduce him, and until he wakes up and throws her on the fireplace. It's a classic bit of storytelling, and I'm sorry. There is a lot of, like I said, classic storytelling about women being temptresses and, seductresses. I got no problem with that. And again, could this fit into an OSR game? Any game that would allow like a temptress or seductress, you should be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty much, like OSR. Because I guarantee you, like D&D 2024 and Daggerheart and all that, they would have a huge problem with this stuff. Ryan for 5. This is their opinion of the OSR. Yeah, these are the loudest voices. Yeah. They need to be addressed if you want it to exist in 25 years. Yeah,
I agree.
Yep, you got to call out these people. But you also can't push away people who might otherwise, be on your side. Yeah, go make more sandwiches.
I can see all of that making sense. If you fail your save and then I think I have to go with false. I hope it's false.
It's true, Ginny.
No,
it's true.
No,
oh my God,
that's so bad.
Lord. What a catastrophe. Go play Daggerheart.
There is a sort of power dynamic in like having a body so good that a guy forgets how to cast Revivify.
You mean like of Ginny? How many Ginny D's? Like what? 700,000 followers. Gee, how many of them would be in that category? How many of them would lose would fail their saves and?
How many of them would divorce their wives and sell their house just to sniff her underwear?
Oh God, yeah. It's so ironic coming from this. A woman who is literally and like an online temptress, like, ooh, little old me. See, I don't even put makeup on. I'm a cutie patootie. Boop boop badoop. Is like,
yeah, we need. You know what we need to do? We need to take these rules and rework them into.
She wasn't afraid to do all the cosplay stuff. She wasn't afraid to be a fucking mermaid when it suited her purpose. Ooh. Once she got started to get some real truck on YouTube, like 300, 400, 500,000, then she's like, I can just kind of ugly myself up now. But, everybody's seen all of her older videos, all of her fans. And you're right, Rogan. The stuff they wouldn't do to drink her bathwater.
Right.
To a supplement that's about like weaponized sexuality for female characters. They say so much about how these game designers.
It's like, what world do they live in where they don't think women use their looks to get exactly what they want?
There is a long history of women seductress, throughout wars and female spies. I mean, you look in history all around the world. There's always some name popping up of this woman that seduces the daylights out of so and so. The next thing you know, that dude's family is dead.
Yeah.
It's history. It's historic.
Yep. Yeah, biblical.
Ooh.
Biblical. So the fact that they aren't even saying stuff like, well, I can kind of see where they might have thought this, because let's throw back to classic fantasy literature. Let's throw back to the fucking Bible. Let's throw back to all this stuff. And instead they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe this exists. Like, oh my God, like who would ever play this? Oh my God. Shark, you gotta stop, Rich. I love it. Thank you so much, but you gotta stop.
I'll
Still,
put you out of your misery. Say wham.
The reason I did say when again was just because Shark.
yeah. Shark would, I think Shark would approve. in mythology, yeah, sexy women, nymphs, Rusalka. They're excuse me, always banging men and getting pregnant. I get everybody pregnant constantly. Slavic myth, Celtic, Norse, Roman, Greek, Hindu, Chinese as well. Yes,
absolutely.
It's because women are the fairer sex. And I know she likes to, like I said, she likes to try to look like Rosa Klebb these days. Ginny does. But it's true. Women are the fairer sex, and they know they can get anything they want from men.
I'll get that back.
Just by prettying themselves up and acting real sexy and real interested men. Ryan for 2. Perhaps it hits a bit too close home for them. Yeah, perhaps. Yep. A little too close. Yeah, 2, I feel like a full.
You didn't need to do that.
Ryan's got a part 2.
Thank you, Ryan. But yeah, just I know some of this is for effect. It's kind of like when we do a Condor video. It's nice to have that. Kind of have the huge guffaws and all that. But a little bit of historical perspective. Show us that you've read a little bit of folklore, or paid attention to the underpinnings of the game that you guys supposedly rep on YouTube. Rob for 10.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Feed it to your little pooches. Your guys work for me now. Forgot how to cast. Not denied by their deity because divine magic is so on demand in 5e. Yeah, I like systems that have more piety mechanics and forces actual cleric roleplay. I do too. That whole thing of like atonement, because I invoke that into our Birthright game. Mrs. D made a almost fatal miscalc by denying her deity. And then she's like, what, who, what, me worry? What did I do? Well, sorry. You have to go on a pretty big fucking quest, to atone for that shit. DB for 2. Oh, you posted the Dragon Magazine article on I'm assuming X. Okay. Thank you very much, DB. I'll check it out later. Yeah, it will be interesting to see.
That's a follow-up from DB.
Yep. Fighting woman. Oh, really? Ah. My God, they're so horrible to women in this thing, giving them advantages, giving them titles. They pretended to be so outraged by the Fighting Man title.
Well, what Ding Dong from TSR was talking quite a while? Was it Perkins?
It was Tondro. Okay. About the Fighting Man.
About the Fighting Man.
You're thinking of Tondro.
Titillating to how bad that
would never pass our inclusivity reviews today. Ay.
Thought about men and.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's got a smile that doesn't quite reach eyes. Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's something a little off about old Ginny D. Bashing old Ginny, but would defend to the death thirsty sword lesbians. Yeah. Well, look at him. He's trying to circumvent it. That's all right. It worked. All right. If you can get around the gatekeeper, more power to
you. One past the goalie.
Yep.
I think they say a lot about how they were thinking about the way that the sexes interact.
So yeah, it says a lot about the 1970s. Just generally, and these people were born in the 1930s.
Right.
So it's like it is a real insight into that.
So they got to be evil. Anybody born in the 1930s is evil, right? God. I mean, I read it somewhere.
Nana, Papa.
Ginny D. OMG. Women using sex as a weapon? So regressive. Also, Ginny D. OnlyFans is empowering. Oh, in case some of you guys don't know, there's always new viewers. I did one video on Ginny D, just kind of exposing that she doesn't like white people. I mean, especially white men. And I got one of the comments that I highlighted is this woman from the mermaiding community, the cosplaying of mermaids. And they said she was so mean. She burned through them like shit through a goose. And the thing that they were mad about was we don't want to sexualize this too much. It has to be just the right amount. And Ginny D wanted to do like a full no top, just hair over the bare boobies. And they're like, you're coming on a little too strong here. And she was just like, I'll do what I want. It was just it was so par for the course for like Ginny D, and how phony, how much of a fake she is. And this woman was really sincere. She had I've never heard from her since. I think she just saw like, oh, Ginny D. I remember her when she was in our little neck of the woods for like a cup of coffee and then gone. So I believe every word of it. She was probably insufferable and pretty much a harlot. I'll use sex every way I want. Cal, almost like they were encouraging women to play. No, Cal, really? Could they have been? Gee, I know Gary has claimed that, but he must be lying, of course,
because he's a man.
Yeah, I mean, he basically recognized the truth that women, probably weren't really interested in it, especially back then. As new as it was, and just the way things were. But yeah, he never. And this article, the guy who wrote this article, never wanted to shove women away. He was just trying to keep it real, as we say. Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division. How you doing, Bruce? Good to see you, buddy. Ginny D is the geek incarnation of Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, there you go. There's a pull. There's just something so fake about her online life. Yeah, there's nothing genuine here. Bad grift. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, I remember when people would talk about Rosie and her little cutie patootie act, like, ooh, you've never seen someone as miserable and insufferable.
I always just remember the famous skit, not a skit, but like segment on The View where she like went after the Hasselbeck girl. I don't know her name.
Oh, Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Yeah. Yep. And then Trump started to go after her, and it broke her. one of many.
Now, didn't she move out of country?
Rosie?
Yeah, I think she's in like Ireland or something. She'll be back.
Good day, mate.
She'll.
Don't you know?
She might already be back for all I know. She's once these people go to these other countries and realize that half of them are they're so boring.
Ireland,
yeah.
Ooh. Lucky Charms.
Magically delicious.
There is one final question here. I want to hit you on a true or false.
I'm ready.
If a woman successfully charms a humanoid monster, such as a centaur or gargoyle, that monster will lay down its weapons, kidnap the woman, and carry her off to its lair.
Ooh.
True or false?
She's smiling. She says she's got a fantasy in there. She wants to pop out.
She's thinking of her next cosplay.
Yeah.
A centaur. Oh.
What is it, boys? True, false?
I'm going to go true.
Chad is saying false.
Saying true.
I actually don't know this one. I didn't watch this far. So I would venture it's true, just because I don't think you'd want to end on a false one, just knowing how these things can sometimes be structured. I don't think you'd ever want to end on a false one. I think you'd always want to end on a true one. Crazy Mouse?
Why would it, if she charms the monster, why would it kidnap her?
Yeah, I mean, I
think it's false. It's like a trick.
Yeah, that could be his. That could be his interpretation. Maybe in the article, it's like he carries you away.
I mean, I can totally see the sort of fantasy-like themes that would lead to that kind of rule. I don't know if I believe, though, like, why would it just be humanoid monsters? Because dragons, historically, carry maidens off to their lairs all the time in media. So I feel like
yeah, that's true. That's true.
The restriction of humanoid monsters feels like a bit of a strange one. I mean, I get the impulse, right? Oh, the humanoids are the ones that want to take a woman back to their lair and have a pretty girl around. But, like, I think...
I mean, what do you think, Ginny?
I think I have to say false. I have to say false.
Okay, yeah, I think it's false.
Yeah.
It is also true.
Oh my god.
It is true. Yeah.
You know what I think is so fascinating about pretty much all of these?
I mean, it's so terrible. Oh my god. Hey, by the way, guys, have you seen the new Beauty and the Beast? Oh my god. It's so cool. Again, another classic trope, beauty soothing the savage beast.
Yes.
Ryan Nikolai, $2. Rogan is dead on, and that's a funny mechanic. That's a funny mechanic. Which one was he talking about? I can't remember.
Her fantasizing about the centaur.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rogan.
You bastard!
Thank you, Nikolai.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Rob McCanna49, she's going to start her answer with, in my personal experience with horses,
rules is that even though they're obviously rooted in sexism, and a lot of them are disadvantages to playing a female character, but at the same time, they imagine women as so powerful. Like, the idea that women can, like, seduce you into doing whatever they want, or that if they seduce you and they're too ugly, that they can literally kill you. Like the power associated with femininity in like a weird, like, objectified way is so fascinating to me. It's not just like women are weak and useless.
What do you think about these rules? Like, would you play with them, or like would you seriously consider writing? Is that something we could see from you, or like would you want to do that? Could you see someone doing this, like making these but for the modern day?
I mean, I don't think I would do it because, to be honest, I already get enough comments that are mad at me about whatever perceived feminist values they think my blue hair indicates on its own.
Oh, come on.
Technically, it's not blue.
Or your tweets, your own words that prove how much you hate white men.
Like, I personally...
And how much you spurg out about Trump.
I just, even though I might have fun
Lord.
doing it on my own time, I just am too friggin' tired to put that kind of thing out on the internet. Like, it would just be it would be the worst week. I think, like, the tough line to walk with something like that is that if you're gonna...
It would also take work, and work is icky.
You have to kind of...
I shouldn't say that. She does put a lot of work into her videos. I will take that back. She's a very good YouTuber. I just don't think she knows a whole heck of a lot about gaming. Ginny seems genuinely, soul-sucking to be around. Yeah, I'm trying to picture like what it would be like, and I think there'd kind of be like a lot of like, I hurt. I'm so tired.
Right.
My tummy hurts. Oh, this hurts. Oh, my toe, my leg. It would just be like a lot of whining, like all the time.
There'd be a half dozen guys trying to massage her toes.
All the time.
Right. We want the...
Oy.
kind of engage with, like, the way that gender does affect, like, different experiences in the world, which it does, obviously. And that would be such a tough line to walk. Like, I think it's a line that everybody would want to walk a little differently. So I think that the people who would consume that supplement, there would be a lot of people who were not happy with how it was done one way or the other, because we all...
Bruce Lombardo, this is the succubus when it isn't trying to train. Catch her in in her off hours, I guess. Got that teal. Get that teal-haired hussy out of my hobby.
Hold on, he's got something.
Yeah.
I give you money, you give me ideas.
You never say thank you.
That's what the money is for.
I love
Good
that
choice. One of the best. Yeah, thank you, Thraxis. Good luck. She's going to be up near 1 million probably within a year or so. That's fine. That's that branch. She represents that branch of gaming. There's always I got news for you. Those of you guys that are thinking like, someday, everything's just going to be magically like it was when I was, 15 years old. It's not going to be like it. There's always going to be that branch. So it's time we just kind of cultivate our branch and don't try to fight so much against it all the time. Just try to get people over to this side. Patrick Demo for 5. Jack's all surprised by this, but fantasy furry smut fiction about women having sex with minotaurs and such is practically an epidemic right now. Yeah.
Who was the guy that ran the game? The rape festival for his wife's.
Oh, the OnlyFans guy.
Right. Oh, the Super Geek Mike.
Yes, that's the ticket.
Yeah, Super Geek Mike. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I like cock. That guy.
Yeah. Orcs with a breeding fetish. Okay, I'll just...
will have like different. There's
Cock is
no
pretty
sort of
good.
like
I like cock.
quantifiable one correct way to
There
do
he
that,
is.
So I think it would end up being quite controversial.
So yeah, these rules are kind of crazy, and it seems like the designers realized that because ever since 2nd edition of D&D, men and women have been treated identically for the purposes of character creation. And watching the original designers talk about these...
Doc! Good to see you, buddy.
Rules now is really interesting. There's a video up on YouTube by Tim Kask where he discusses the representation in early Dragon magazine, and he does seem like genuinely sorrowful for some of the depictions in those early years, particularly of people with mental health issues, but also to an extent women in the early game. He explains that basically these early rules were an attempt to get women playing the game, because D&D evolved out of wargaming, which was literally exclusively only marketed at men. And results aside, that is an admirable goal. According to 2023 data released by Wizards of the Coast, 40% of people who play Dungeons & Dragons are women. And we don't really talk about WotC's big...
Don't know if I believe it's quite 40. I'd say 25 to 30 maybe nowadays.
Wins very often, but this is surely the best thing they've ever done. Up there with putting third-party content on D&D Beyond and inventing the roving mauler. Yeah, look at the leg lion. Look at it. So yeah, the modern broad appeal of TTRPGs and gender representation among its players and its designers is basically a good thing. There's more funny things in these rules that we didn't get into, like how dwarven women need to have a higher beauty score to successfully sleep with a human man than an elf does. Which is funny, because I am all about those 4'7" babes who could crush my head like an egg with one hand, but apparently that's not normal.
Yeah, because they're almost as tall as you, dude. I've seen you in person.
Yeah, let's reset, buddy. Who is this guy?
This is D&D Shorts.
There you go.
Very, very popular YouTuber. No, I got nothing personal against D&D Shorts. Other than he is very, in real life, this dude is very short.
That's why he's D&D Short.
Yeah, maybe it is a play on name. I think it was because he did a lot on D&D, like on YouTube Shorts, but I think there's a little double entendre.
In my heart,
there.
I'm just fascinated by game design and game designer intent, their failures and their successes, and what they tell us about the world at the time these rules were created.
Michael Rose D&D Short Bus. That's kind of funny. Bruce Lombardo for 10. Thank you, Bruce. Okay.
All right, nothing to see here. Please disperse.
Thank you very much. Every day I stay alive, I believe the elites are using the synthoid tech from Cobra. Oh boy, there's a pull. Look at how Ginny D is an influencer. How the yes men of hers is so perfectly masculine in a Seattle way. Yeah, 'tis true. 'Tis true. Thank you very much, Bruce. I need to take over here for just a moment.
We got one more big one.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Oops, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Give him something. Marvelous Mr. Mean. Ooh, my favorite. Yodeling through the Alps. How many of those women in the 40% have a penis? Probably more than a few. And Mac for $4.99. Maybe she needs a weekend of gag balls and nippy cordage. All right, Mac. We get it. Thank you very much. Shark, $5. In a group I played in at the local game shop, a woman gamer very eagerly embraced a sexy romance with a Minotaur. Hey, there you go. Hung like a Minotaur. All right, now I need...
Control is all yours.
Now I need control. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I found this one too. And this shows how obsessed these people are with it, but it's like none of us ever talk about this kind of stuff. It's only them. Like, we don't make videos, trying to draw out this topic. But I found this on TikTok from some lunatic. All right, so hold on one second. I have to like I said, I had to do this on the fly, as it were. Whoops.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. Grape is something my character would do. So you're already like, what?
How about no?
That is an odd-looking dude. And yet when you see this woman and realize this is probably her boyfriend, you realize, like, oh, yeah, yeah.
As the army of goblins overtakes the party, they're captured and put in chains. All the men are taken and put into the dungeon, and the women are gang raped. We're talking all holes at once, nonstop. Neela, can you...
All holes at once? Oh, my gosh.
make a will save? I'm sorry, a will save?
And so this doesn't happen.
Sounds more like a Constitution shave, but
yeah. I mean like they're thinking like, oh yeah, this is every session with like an an original D&D player. Oh yeah, girls, just prepare yourself. Like this literally does not happen.
Yeah, you have a paladin, right? Yes? Save to see if she likes it. Being gang raped by goblins? Yeah. Why? Well, if she fails her will save and likes it, then she's gonna fall and lose all her paladin powers.
Yeah. Yeah, really realistic. Like this has ever happened ever at a table. Doc Flamingo, I got thrown off of RPGNet, join the club, for a character creation system with gender-based modifier. Oh, yeah, you can't do that anymore. Unscripted, Unchained, DM Bloodworth, good to see you, buddy, for 7 months. Thank you. Got to meet him at CNYCon. Good dude.
Holy shit, did you just flip the table? That's uncool. I'm gonna cut your tongue out so you can never DM again.
Yeah. Very funny. Yeah. But this is what they fantasize about. If you notice, like getting back to the super geek, remember his plus size wife was, or maybe it was someone else in their group. Like, I fantasize about an orc, ravaging me. It's like you people are the legit fucking weirdos in this hobby. All of you are the fucking weirdos. Every last one of you. Yeah, I'm putting those in your fantasy heartbreaker. Almighty 377. You guys are killing it tonight. There's a way. You're stretching my supply of Crazy Mouse drops to the limit. Happy Independence Day to you and all the patriots in the RPG community. Absolutely. Thank you. And right back at you, all you guys. Hope you guys have a safe, happy 4th of July weekend. Patrick Demo, $2. I'll take things that never happen for $500. Ever, Patrick. Ever. Yeah, Dear Penthouse Forum. Yeah. That by the way, that was like an old line of ours.
Dear Penthouse Letters.
Yeah,
I never thought this would happen to me.
Yeah, but Crazy Mouse would always bust that one out. Dear Penthouse Letters.
We haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah, Ever Had Sex Happen in the game was when woke player. Yeah, it's always them. Oh, I know. I just know what you guys are going to do. First, it's all holes at once. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, we're here to, what you'll probably get is, oh yeah, we're just here to explore a fucking dungeon or a tomb or something. Yeah. But their head is so like warped with all the shit they see online that they immediately think everybody else is as big a degenerate as they are. Asterion Moloch for 5. All the fake RPG horror stories they like on Reddit have grape. Yep. Something I've noticed. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that a little too. I may have a little something on that side as well. On the plus side, that gave me a great idea for a new adventure, says Doc. Well, there you go. Always glad to be of service, my friend. Okay, do we want to do... let's do our... first of all, hold on. Our buddy Todd. So this is This is 1 minute.
I was laid off from Wizards of the Coast. It was my dream job. I have been sad. I have been in shock just as much as you, but I'm not going to stop.
Right. We want the...
Right.
My source at D&D is like, this guy did nothing. Nobody knew what he did other than interview people.
He was like that on Conan. They have a skit, Jordan Schlonsky or something like that. Like no one knows what he does in the office.
Yeah. He's one of these guys that just kind of not like famous for being famous, but like, oh, that's Todd. We need Todd here, and nobody ever asks like, why?
What does he do?
Yeah, what does he do and why? $2 from Cal. The dungeon consents.
I'm spinning up my YouTube channel. I'm going to be funding that YouTube channel with my Patreon. And we're going to be doing the same interviews that you would expect.
These guys just go in balls to the wall. Like, Patreon, YouTube. It's like I've been doing this like almost 3 years now. I still don't do Patreon. I'm just gonna suck as much fucking money out of you as just give me money every month. Gimme.
Patreon's like a plutonic OnlyFans.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Very familiar faces. And a few new ones. I am also going to be creating...
If I entertain you and you want to send super chats and memberships, I appreciate it and I love it. Other than that, I'd love to have you buy my adventure when I kickstart it. There you go.
Patreon, my own playtest material that is
I
compatible.
don't do merch. I don't do any of that other stuff. It's like, I view it as I got to earn my money.
Oh, how about a D&D hoodie?
Double D.
A double D hoodie.
Yeah. I've always thought like sell like one hat, like literally like black with like the white, the dragon as
or
white.
or a sticker for like your.
Well, Rogan bought a button maker.
I got a button maker. I just haven't made any more buttons.
So I've given out a handful of those at times, like at cons.
And for those Yeti water bottles, stickers.
Probably in the fall, Cal. We're looking at now, but I just talked to Ken and James. I'm doing business with him as an artist. Greg Gillespie's great artist. Had a great meeting. Can't wait to see what he's going to do. Waiting on stuff from Wonky, who killed his first round. Got stuff for Paddy.
4 times his goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Paddy did some great stuff, and like I said, I'm going to see where I'm at and then see if I need any more. Like
LordMatteus got to 1,000 tonight.
Yeah.
Black Lodge Games quadrupled their goal.
They're going to probably hit 40 easy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wonky gets to 13.
With D&D, with Daggerheart, and eventually I want to publish my own book of player-focused content.
Thank you, my friend.
I'm going to be going to Gen Con. I'm going to be flying to LA to collect interviews. And all of this is going to be funded through my Patreon.
Peace.
So in other words, really nothing changed for him.
Yeah. Also, why do you need to fly to LA? You're paying for this guy's trip to LA. I'm going to be interviewing Jeff Tallaney next week. I'm not going to fly to New Hampshire, you fucking douchebag. God.
Thank you to the D&D design team and our team.
You can do interviews online now, Todd.
For being so lovely and wonderful and creative, to Critical Role, to Baldur's Gate.
Have a good night,
Freecast,
Chris.
For being so supportive and kind and fantastic to produce live play shows for. Thank you to the community for reaching out to me during this time period and being so kind and supportive.
Oh.
It has meant the world. I was late.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why didn't he certainly didn't get any mainstream like.
When is this interview?
Next week.
There you go.
Next Wednesday.
What time?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go.
The huge. It will be it'll be like a normal lair, just probably the first half at least will be Jeff. Jack Nicholson Joker smile. Life's been good to me. All right, let's go lunacy here. Our lunacy montage.
Well, you just couldn't call, could you, Magus? You just couldn't help out a few thousand or million people who are going to go hungry and are going to live in the fucking streets. Thanks, Maga. Thanks a whole hell of a lot. Because most of the goddamn people live in your fucking states.
I think the ambulance was called shortly after.
Which
that.
is weird.
Yes. Aneurysm.
Well, most of the people live in your states. That's why they won.
Yes.
It's so weird how that works.
It's also like, all of these illegal immigrants that we have to take care of live in Texas and Florida. Yeah, it's kind of why they want them out, because they can't afford to keep taking care of them. You dummy. These old ladies. Well, Robert Stanton, $5. Good to see you, my friend. $5. I just ordered my copy of Mad Scribe number 11. Oh, there you go. All of them at this point.
Look at this.
On behalf of Chris Miller,
guy.
thank you. DB. Man, Gilbert Godfrey is on himself.
That's a
Thank
good one.
Thank you, Mega.
You fool!
You fool! I mean, that is just nuts. I mean, honestly, I'm going to do something I normally don't do here. I'm going to watch that one again. I want to watch that one again.
You just Couldn't call, could you, Magus? You just couldn't help out a few thousand or million people.
Like how she's like, you couldn't help out a few thousand or a million people.
That sounds like when we're rolling against goblins. 40 to 400.
Yeah, 40 to 4,000. Yeah,
40 to 400.
It's like, can you give me a couple thousand or $1 million? There's a little bit of a difference there. I always tell my players, men and women, that the game world is harsh and brutal, says Shark, our buddy.
They need to pay. Then give us your credit card, and then you're in.
Then you're in. Then you're in. And full of war, hatred, grape, and slavery. Yeah, these things are common all the time. Yes, it's a brutal... These fantasy worlds, they like to, like, tone them down. That's why we have the fucking, like, look, this is the cool tavern, you know, that has, you know, fish tacos. They like to make the world, like, not so scary, but if you're trying to keep it real, it's going to be a little scary. I mean, you can play any way you want, but, you know, if everything's a fucking game, you know, a festival, sorry.
We're going to go hungry and are going to live in the fucking streets. Thanks, Meg.
You're welcome.
Thanks a whole hell of a lot.
You're welcome.
Because most of the goddamn people live in your fucking states.
That's why we want them gone. Wow. Boomers. I'd always resisted, like, oh, boomers need to go. I am fully on board with the let's get rid of them. They're going crazy. Like 90% of boomers are incurably, like, they're insane.
Way to circle,
is that your name?
Way to circle back.
Yeah, honestly, Goldschlager, thank you. I didn't even pay you for that one. But yeah, honestly, that sort of is my you know, not the crazy lady across the street. That's my neighbor 2 doors down. If you guys remember, I did a walking tour around the election where I gave, quite frankly, a very accurate straw poll of what this Bellwether County would do. I was right, by the way. And I went by, like, her house. She's the one that had, like, 10 signs in her yard. Like, 10 political signs. She's a fucking lunatic. All right, let's see what our brother here has to say. I'm sure it's something nice. Sane.
Oh, y'all wanted a viral video? Fuck bills. Fuck the government. We're not going to work after July 4th until further notice.
Not going to work where?
The question is, were you going to work before July 4th?
Right. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt on that one. Yeah, I'm not sure you had a job even before that.
That's what Buster says.
Mm-hmm. Like you had a job. Yep, exactly, Buster.
Anyone who's decorating for the 4th of July is not someone you need to be affiliated with.
All right, so soak that in for a second. Breathe in. So, you got any of that bunting laying around? Any of those American flags? Yeah, shoplifting. Hey, easy there. Easy there. Is it Juneteenth again? Kind of feels like it. Feels like Juneteenth season all over again.
Reporting live from the United States of Embarrassment, what I have right now is
My sister burning people.
indicators that the people that you are around are the people that you should not be around. And they're very subtle. These are very subtle things that you need to
Put that in
look
a moment.
out for. If you're still confused, just ask them.
Just what? Just do what?
I would rather be asked something.
Yes. Could you say that again, sister? Well, what do you want us to do? Thraxis, $20, my lord.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Actual Looney Tunes, made for their own personal, like, private party. Thraxis for $20. Don't you know? LA is the heart of the tabletop RPG industry these days. Oh, that must be why Todd wants to fly there. With all these Hollywood influencers. Yep, Critical Role, MCDM, Felicia Day and her 100-year-old husband. Of course, Will Wheaton crawling up on his wife and crying in her lap. They all agree that they're better than everyone else because they live in LA. They live in LA and they deserve to live in LA. That's why, whenever I hear these stories about what a shithole LA is, I'm like, good. It's like Jack Nicholson said as the Joker. Nice people shouldn't live here. They'd be happier someplace else. So all the people that do live there, sorry. All right, let's see what our sister, she wants to ask you a question.
Who did you vote for?
She's asking she's asking who you voted for.
Okay, so here we go. If you've heard them say something like, I support legal immigration.
It's just so bonkers. Every country in the world has legal immigration, and they enforce against illegal immigration. But when you have, literally, I'm staring into her eyes. This is somebody, now granted, she's not a complete, cellar dweller. This is somebody with, a 98 to 100 IQ. That's it. But in their mind, in the hood, they are the smartest person on the fucking block.
Ask them if they watch the news.
Ask them.
What news do they watch?
Oh, good one there. You mean if they say Fox News, they might be right leaning?
What if you got your news from the soup?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I missed that.
The soup, yeah. Oh man, the good old days.
That's a given, right?
Greg, what was his name?
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear, yeah.
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale.
Taylor Swift posted that she was voting for Kamala, and when Beyonce was at the actual rally, how did that make you feel?
So she wants you to go to your neighbor. Excuse me.
Who'd you? I gotta. Let me holler at you a second. Yeah. Who'd you vote for? I gotta ask you.
Well, but it's not even that. It's so oddly specific. Excuse me. When Beyonce did that Kamala fundraiser, how did that make you feel? It's I'd be like, bitch, are you asking who I voted for or not? This is what happens when dumb people think they're smart.
Right.
They think oh, you could do this to trick them. Who the fuck are you trying to trick? This is a what we would call a low midwit. Just over the borderline from, slightly retarded. Bardic aggravation, man. These $10, they're stacking up.
Double zeros, baby.
Yep. We're duping them, but that's okay. Double zeros. You guys are making me a very rich man tonight. I lived in LA for 15 years. My sympathies. Imagine a place where everybody is an asshole except you. That's LA. Yeah. Yep, I can imagine it. Glad you got out, Bardic aggravation.
How do you feel when people say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas? Do you think that's bad? How do you feel about that?
These type of people.
I feel like she's on Pornhub and she's giving out some JOI.
Yeah, she's got that sort of
soothing voice. Yeah.
I wonder if she's got an OF.
Yeah.
She might have an OF.
When you say I miss the old days, are you talking about cartoons and gas prices, or gender roles and segregation? Okay, I think that's good. Those are questions you need to ask people.
I'm gonna ask
because
nobody.
Now, more than ever, we have to be in alignment with the people around us. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
There was this comedian, and he said Quinn Dale is his name. Mm-hmm. He's there's certain words that white people can't say, like the N-word. And he goes, and there's certain words that black people can't say, like the word ask.
You told me that before. That's still pretty fucking funny.
And I'm sorry. I know a lot of you have parents that voted against you. Women, I know you have husbands, which is crazy, that voted against your interests and your uterus. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But I will be here.
You happy about your 6 abortions, sister? Good for you.
Bye.
Well, it's easier to get the checks when you have 5 kids from 6 different guys.
Yeah.
I know the
How
math's
in
not
the
there.
hell am I supposed to stay sober and clean when the world is quite literally entering World War III?
Are we?
She looks like a trash panda.
Whoa! Wow!
Where is that door knocker? Oh, Sheila took it.
It's like she woke up from a 6-year nap.
She's like a jet. She's got a jet. a Padawan. She's got like that Padawan.
Yeah,
braid on
yeah,
the
rat tail, the Padawan rat tail. Drink it in, fellas. Drink it in.
All this could be yours.
Yeah, if the price
Super chat.
This is future hot right
America's
here.
involved between Israel and Iran?
Not really.
So we're all gonna fucking die is all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing right now. And you want me to stay sober and clean? Go fuck.
By the way, S&P 500, all-time high today. That's how much we're going to war. Semen retention from Ryan. Oh, sorry, Ryan, I cheated.
Fuck yourself.
I'll start again, though.
What? You want me to stay clean when we are getting dragged into World War III?
Sounds like you really want to use again. Is all I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hearing, right?
I'm just detecting, maybe a convenient excuse for you
to break your sobriety.
Going on a bender.
Eat shit, bitch. What?
Honey, don't worry about it. When the draft comes and they do draft you, it's because of all the feminists out there wanted to draft you.
Yep. Edgelord, $2. I can fix her. I hope you're a dentist because you're going to need to fix up a lot of stuff.
Put money on that game.
Yeah.
This is for fat people. If you're not fat, I'm not really talking to you. But if you'd like to stick around and learn, you're welcome to.
All right, guys. Anybody who has a few extra LBS, my girl here, she's here for you.
Bring it on.
What do you think she's got to say?
Come on, honey bunny.
Some recipe for those fish bones she got.
Fat phobia is a tool of colonization.
Oh.
Fat phobia is a tool of white supremacy. Fat phobia is a tool of capitalism. Fat phobia is a tool of patriarchy. Fat phobia is a tool of heteronormativity. You do not owe anyone weight loss. You do not owe anyone health. You do not owe anyone exercise. You do not owe anyone an explanation, a commitment to lose weight. You do not owe anyone shrinking.
I think this one was for the dishwasher, or for the meth head.
Yeah, yeah. How much is she? I need a dishwasher, says Bruce. She'll work cheap for you, Bruce. She'll work cheap for you.
It wasn't the fishbone earrings that got me. It was her bangs. Her
Yeah,
bangs told me
they
I
were pretty unsettling. Yeah, and then the zit on her cheek too. Oof, yeah. The high calorie heifer. Oh, Zambic.
My name's Nexus, I'm non-binary as hell, and this is what I am wearing to do my homework and then go to a doctor's appointment later. At said doctor's appointment, I'm going to talk to my primary care provider about the process of starting top surgery, but the thing is, I definitely only want one of my tits removed.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So when people tell you the culture war is not important, like these things, oh, what are you so obsessed about, trans people being in women's sports?
Which something huge happened with that.
Yeah. I think I know we're talking about the same thing. Leah Thomas having to turn in all the...
Penn said we made a big mistake.
Yep.
There's going to be a giant prison, and it is going to be around Los Angeles.
Yep.
No.
If we're lucky to see it in our lifetime.
I think we will see it in our lifetime before I pass away. And in part, I kind of hope we do. Any good people in Los Angeles, get out, because this lady's coming along with her tribe.
Yeah. You deserve what you get after a certain time. It's like, sorry. You got a chainsaw? Which side are you taking? Jeez.
That's an optimistic man right there.
Crazy Mouse touched on it, but yeah, University of Pennsylvania, Penn had to cave and strip Leah Thomas of all
We were
his
wrong.
records. Yeah, we were wrong. Sorry. We'll apologize to all the girls. Well, it's also important for you to know that doesn't happen if Trump doesn't get elected, because they're holding money over him and saying, "All right, you guys better stop this bullshit." And guess what talks and what walks? Money talks, bullshit walks all the time. So yeah, they did it, and I'm glad they did it, but they did it under duress from the Trump administration. Yet another thing I voted for. Thank you very much. So fuck Penn still. I don't care. But at least some of those girls will get, at least in the record books, their due.
Just because that's what I...
But if anybody tells you, why are you fighting that stuff? Right, so here's someone else looking to cut off one of their tits. Oh, great. Yeah, this earworm is still out there. It's still getting to people.
And I don't think I'm gonna talk to him about that. I'm just gonna have to like find a really cool surgeon who's okay with just taking one of them off.
Well, I'm sure you'll find one.
If I was a surgeon, I would be ecstatic to hear that. You don't have to worry about making them look the same. You can just one of them off. But I'll keep y'all updated to see how that goes.
How are you gonna pay for that, honey bunny? You don't got a job. You don't have insurance. How are you gonna pay for it? Huh?
Her mental disability. She's on disability.
This is
willful right here.
Well, this isn't girls rebelling by going on the pill in the 60s or whatever. This isn't like, a bunch of piercings, in your ear and like dressing like Madonna in the 80s. Like this is some like serious like mental fucking like this is really fucked up. Like your daughter's looks like this. You may as a parent you may have done everything right, and then like your only issue was I let her go to school, and there was a fucking teacher who promoted this, or she got into the wrong friend crowd, and now I'm fucked, and she's fucked. Yep. It's like but I mean somewhere out there there's probably I'm not even going to say there's a dad. There's probably not a dad, but there's probably at least a mother who's like, oh my God. What did I do wrong?
Should I bribe my mother with photos and videos of her grandkids who she hasn't seen in years to finally answer the question that if she regrets her choice for Citrus Caesar last?
Yeah, so...
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
The math isn't mathing. So she's holding her kids ransom against the grandparents because of who they voted for. The election was just in November.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't seen the grandkids in years.
Yep.
Her own words.
I mean, it could be she could be talking about 2016.
All right, that's fine. There was an election after that where her candidate won.
But here's where you may be wrong. You are vastly underestimating the pettiness of these people. It wasn't so much that Trump lost in 2020. It's that
you voted for him.
You voted for him to begin with. Yeah. So I could almost see this. Now, and also there is of course, she could be lying, but if she is telling the truth, these are the most evil people in the world. Disgusting, horrible people. If she was drowning, fire hose right in the mouth.
November. For context, I cut off all my family after the popularity contest, and it went super viral, ended up all over the internet, got a bunch of CPS, grape, and skull threats from that side.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
CPS?
Child Services.
Child Protection Services.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is probably called for, because you're probably a horrible mother. You're probably... This is as close to like that last girl was a tragedy because you could tell she's young and just had a brain full of mush.
Yes.
Like that's a tragedy.
Yes.
So you'd think like, oh, who is this demon? This demon with a split face. No, she's been fucked by society. This supposed normal looking person is a fucking demon. Like this is your demon right here.
This takes me back to the young lady that was interrogating her grandfather and giving him
remember that? I'm glad you pulled that. Yeah, I'd almost forgotten about that.
That one broke my heart. That one really broke my heart.
Well, I mean, it's just you're not seeing the other side of this, but it would probably break your heart just as much. You withholding your grandkids because of the way they support. Anybody who does this, I hope you get run over by a truck. I'm not even exaggerating there. Hope you get run over by a truck.
I agree.
Ended up all over Twitter, YouTube. Everywhere.
Absolutely.
All because I cut off my family because I'm tired of them being terrible people, basically. So I feel like halfway
human
guilty
garbage
about not talking to my mother. So I emailed her one day, and then she tells me, "Hey, guess what? Your brother is being sent somewhere very important very soon." And he's in the National Guard. So you can imagine that I'm like, oh, really interesting. So because of this, because your only son is going to be in grave danger, do you regret your choice last November?
They're such narcissists too. Like no, like, oh, I hope our brother's okay. I hope your son's okay. Right. This has to vindicate me. Like I said, these people are legit demons. They are 100% demons in human form.
Aye.
Remember, Mom? She ignored me. She completely ignored me. So yeah, should I bribe her
Spit on
with
your mom's heart.
information about her grandkids to get her to finally answer that question? Because I'm really, really interested in her answer.
This one's single.
I mean, I don't. It's probably in the realm of possibility. There's a guy cucked enough to be with her, but
I like to think dudes would not be that solo. Would not be so low as to be cool with that.
Oh God.
Yep, I wore the shirt today for you racist crackers on my motherfucking page who keep saying some shit. How do y'all like to see your pappy on my shirt?
Okay. Excuse me, stewardess. I can translate.
I speak jive.
No, the hair
shark
thing.
hitting the Madonna lookalike. Yeah, my man.
Her hair knob. Is that for a reason? Is there a reason for that top knot?
You're gonna see her boyfriend in a moment, or her baby daddy in a moment. Any guesses on the on the make?
We already know. She talks. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not Chinese.
You see it, right?
Are you sure? Final answer.
It's my final answer.
You need me to get it closer?
Oh.
Y'all see that?
There he is.
Kill the Klan, baby.
All you racists.
Boy.
I know you motherfuckers got something to say about that, but come on with it, baby, because I got all day.
You got that much time. You got to go meet Daddy in the back.
You gonna get another ring around your eye?
I got all day because I got a job. I'm collecting.
God, he's got to.
My
He's got
shit's rated E.
Turn
for
her,
everyone.
turn her out on the street. All right, bitch. You got six tricks to turn, or are you gonna get the Drano
Nothing but
tonight?
time. So come on.
When they talk like this, it is the most embarrassing thing ever, isn't it?
Yes.
Like white women who talk with like.
Gavin and I worked at a bar together where a lot of the white women talked like this, and it was exhausting.
It's back in the 90s,
Yeah.
by the way, yeah, so it's nothing new. Yeah, it's like we know you weren't raised like this. Like we know you don't talk like this, and I understand picking up, like living in the South, you pick up a little bit of a Southern accent, but it's not like you like, oh, Miss Johnson, you got some of that cornbread? The fuck? God.
Come on.
Come on.
I'm ready to eat y'all asses up, so come on with it.
That sounds hot.
For the right price, I'm sure she does eat that ass.
God. Oh yeah, this is the
Nope.
the thing we already saw.
That ain't Southern Double D, says Mac. You just channeled Cajun. That's Cajun Double D.
All right. It's a very thin line, Thraxis. Very, very thin line.
There's that one Cajun cook sometimes I watch. He cooks with butter.
Oh yeah. All right, let me.
I guarantee.
I'm gonna do something else. All right, we'll talk about. We'll listen to fake stories. Fake stories from TikTok. All right, hold on. I have to do that. Okay. Did it happen?
Got matching nose rings.
Yeah. Oh, no audio. Can't hear. Okay. Yeah, that may be an issue. Because I thought I had the. All
right, we turned it off. That's why you can hear now.
All right, let's try it again. All right, could you hear that? I'll just play the beginning. This could be technical. Did you hear? Yep.
Oh, no.
Huh. Because I got the desktop audio on. All right. I'll circle back with this next week, guys. I'll circle back next week. But ideally, like... Huh. Lips are moving, no sound. Okay. Let me try one last thing. You can read some of those comments out loud.
Toby said it was best video of the night.
Yeah. After what
Story's so fake, I can't even hear it.
Yeah, after what I put you through, yeah, I do understand. I don't know what... It's been a while since I've just run something from like a browser source. I usually just download the full...
Buster says it would made her perfect if she was just hotter.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, she's a biggin', and so is her...
Cold War Tuesday asked if the tab was muted.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, that's okay. I got a backup as always.
Outset is the city of our campaign, which is not set on Galarian. This is our own homebrew world of Tyne that uses this Pathfinder 2e engine with a lot of custom content. But you're making your way towards the famed establishment known as...
What could this famed establishment be?
Oh, I wouldn't have a slightest idea.
Tortuga.
Tortuga. Come on, it's a modern D&D game, Pathfinder game, whatever.
Oh, Portland.
The Mutton King.
The Mutton King.
Huh?
Wokelandia.
Yep.
Now, when you say famed, do you mean
yes,
famous or infamous?
It really depends on who you talk to.
Okay.
How a lot of fast food places are famous or infamous depending on who you talk to.
That's fair.
It's like that. Now that being said, you're in a rush, so it's not just that you're going to the Mutton King. You're going to a special type of Mutton King. You are going to the Mutton King Express.
So not just the Mutton King, the Mutton King Express. This is a fantasy RPG.
This is a place they're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. It's a place.
Scott Garibay picks up DoorDashes from there.
Good, you can grab Roberts there. Might be delayed a little.
There you go.
Robert Satin, $5. I'm just glad that I have 3 normal sons.
Amen.
My 3 sons. Good for you, Robert. I'm sure you are raising them the way they should be raised.
Which has a fine sign outside of its establishment.
Oh, it's so LOL, so random.
Graphic design is my passion.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. But there is a problem if you've come for lunch.
Weenie Hut Juniors. Meat, good to see you. Love the reference too. SpongeBob reference.
There's a long line of people.
Oh, son of a...
So I have loaded up the map here. You should be able to see the line of individuals.
How did it get this bad?
So it went from a Mutton King Express to a Mutton King.
What is the inverse of express? Slow? Mutton King slow? Mutton King inexpedient? Mutton King inconvenient?
Did we come during the lunch rush, or
Cal, attack the line.
is it just always like this?
Oh. It varies, but I've not been to this one. I honestly don't remember where we are. Kind of got lost in the paths.
Is this the one that had the food poisoning incident?
No, that
all
was the
have.
one over on Bilby Street.
They all have had that.
Orin,
all of
Orin's
them?
eyes light up as he sees Mutton King. He goes, "It's Mutton King. It's where the flavor wears the crown. It's Mutton King. Look!" And he gets all excited.
He does love those commercials.
Do not be so easily distracted by marketing and commercial value. This Mutton King, it is unworthy of the crown.
Boo! Hey,
so this is an online game that these people are playing, and they're
pretty
pretty this graphics on here, which is they're clever, they're cute, but like this is a real legit.
Yeah, this is a game. I mean,
hey, whatever makes them happy. That's hard for me to say.
I mean, yeah. All right, I tell you what, this is insufferable. I can't watch it anymore. Tell you what, we'll do something I normally don't do, but this is something Crazy Mouse and I have been talking about for years, going on probably decades now.
Bring it.
Here we go. You ready? You guys ready?
Finally, new rule. Let's make the Father's Day we just celebrated the last one that takes place in a culture where dads have become such punching bags. Literally the last demographic group that TV, ads, and movies can still depict as clueless, useless dipshits.
Duh. I'm just a stupid dad.
What do I know?
Duh. I'm a big teddy bear. Ask her. She does everything.
Basically just another child that mom has to look after. Every sitcom is tonight on ABC, Larry burns down the house. And the tagline in the commercial for every household product is basically, because your husband is a moron.
It's true.
Moving in together. It's a big step. A test. A test that Jeff failed miserably.
You know.
Yes, I know Bill Maher is insufferable. I get it, but problem is he talks like a Republican 90% of the time these days, and then he just has to remind himself like, oh shit, that's not my audience. So he'll throw in some stupid zinger, about Trump. But this is all the stuff like he talks about. I mean, he pretty much is a conservative these days, just he won't admit it.
I'm not sure when this trend started, but I'm going to blame the 1987 movie Three Men and a Baby. The premise of which is that three grown men can't manage to keep a baby alive. The same year gave us Married with Children, with its idiot shoe salesman of a father, followed by an endless parade of eye-roll, short-bus dads, Homer Simpson, Family Guy, Modern Family, Malcolm in the Middle, Everybody Loves Raymond, Home Improvement, according to Jim. And it's not just the old-school broadcast TV sitcoms. It's everywhere. It's highbrow.
Oh, it's gotten worse, wouldn't you say?
I agree.
Absolutely.
At least back then there was some
they
comedic.
Can't even, name the last commercial where the girl was an idiot.
Oh, you literally can't do that. Jeff won, says Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. I mean, you would not be able to do that. But at least back in the day, Al Bundy had the best lines. Yeah, yes. He was kind of a slob, but he would always kind of occasionally he would get his due, and Peg would end up looking, stupid.
He wasn't often wrong.
Yeah. He was kind of like the working class hero guy. So I don't think that's exactly like what we're talking about here. We're talking about that ad where like, oh, all the women are doing the work, and where's Dad? Oh, he's playing a video game.
Well, this goes earlier than that. Ancient Chinese Secret is one that predates this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. At least that guy was working, I guess.
My husband, some hotshot.
Here's this cow.
Streaming stuff. It's major motion pictures. It's minor motion pictures. It's in everything.
Yep.
And look, I know I don't have any kids. I made a different choice in life and decided to have money.
Always does that.
You're not lying. But all these shows, they can't all be lying about what it's like to have kids.
Your EQ is off the charts, Nick.
Aha, Nick. I'm Nick now. What happened to Dad?
Well, I don't know, Nick. What happened to Dad?
You're an asshole. Hey, come in here.
Why are you acting so dickish? I mean, it is only $10.
Bro, do you hear how they talk to me? Do you hear how you gotta say something?
Whoa, hold on. When are you guys planning on coming home?
By 11 or 12?
Yeah, Sam.
You know you both have school tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. We do. Yeah, he's right.
Solid parenting, Dad. Come on.
Yeah, a woman can be the not smartest one only if it's a white woman being corrected by a non-white woman. Yep, I stand corrected, and that's actually true, DB. Yeah, never a guy, only a brother. A brother might be able to do it, but they generally try not to even do that. Certainly never like a white guy.
Kids today, they're like Trump. They think the rules don't apply to them.
There's his obligatory, like, oh boy, my audience is uncomfortable because they're all these old liberals who don't know what to think anymore as the world's going fucking crazy around them. So he's like, well, I gotta write in one Trump joke to get these lemmings clapping.
Mom is always the smart one, the good one. He's just lucky to be in her orbit. And I get it that this is a correction to centuries of women being deemed the weaker sex, but how long does the correction last? And when will men stop making me throw up in my mouth with the way they pander so nakedly? Ryan Gosling says, I think women are better than men. They're better than us. And Harry Styles' t-shirt agrees. Terry Crews.
You should be allowed to slap somebody wearing a t-shirt like that.
Yes.
Just walk up to him.
Jeff says backhand sandwich.
I like it. Yeah.
I
crack
think
right across the chops.
I think a handful of these men have earned some bitch blush.
Yeah, I think so. Ugh.
Believes it. He says women are smarter than men for real. Even Barack Obama says about women that what I can say pretty indisputably is that you're better than us. Really? Because I don't remember Michelle taking out bin Laden.
Love all the like I said, his audience just doesn't know what to think of him anymore. So they kind of have to uncomfortably oh yeah, he's got a point.
And here's Will Ferrell's quick human history recap.
Oh, God.
Men, we've been running the show since, 10,000 BC? Something like that? And we're not doing so good. Isn't it just time for women to run the planet?
Yes, a sentiment Leonard Cohen concurs with, saying, I wish the women would hurry up and take over. Well, you know what? Many of them have. And it wasn't that different. Queen Mary burned 300 people at the stake just for being Protestant. Cleopatra, Catherine the Great, Golda Meir, Indira Gandhi, none of them were any less violent or hard-assed than men. Hillary voted for the Iraq War. Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. So besides being historically naive, this cringy pandering is why teenage boys flock to jerks like Andrew Tate. Now, if you don't know who he is, your teenage son does. He's an accused rapist.
Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
I do.
I do.
I have an opinion of him.
I vacillate. So sometimes I'm like, he's got a point, and then sometimes I'm like, oh god, this guy can be a douchebag sometimes. So it's like almost like 50-50 with him.
Turned influencer whose videos get billions of views, where he says things like women should bear responsibility for being sexually assaulted. Yes, he's a huge asshole, and your kid thinks he's cool. Because that's the choice of role models that an American teenage boy has. Either performative pussyhood or the manosphere.
Bingo.
Jesus, can't the pendulum ever land in the middle in this country? Can't we have something in between?
I think Theo Fahn's funny.
Yeah.
I think so too. I like him.
Yeah, this is where Bill Maher is just kind of a curmudgeon. Like nothing wrong with Joe. Joe Rogan is like one of the most like thoughtful guys.
They wanted him to be a moderator for a political debate because there'd be no shenanigans.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn's funny. Dave Portnoy helps out small businesses like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
Yep.
This guy here interviews a lot of famous celebrities.
Bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know he's a comedian.
Oh, I thought he was Ross Geller from Friends.
Yeah. And then I don't know who this guy in the second row end is. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then those are the Paul brothers.
Yeah. And they, like I said, you can't throw these guys in the same category as Andrew Tate.
No,
I mean,
they're not.
Who dares not open his mouth for fear of mansplaining.
But he's right on when he talks about this. Yeah, this is what they fucking want.
And owning a tiger. The Democrats are always asking, how do we win back men? Just be real. Not a monster and not a doormat. Is that so hard? And
yeah, but you got to stop voting for stuff that cuts the balls off of men too. I mean, it can't just be like, oh, we'll put it in a better package. You actually have to do something that men like.
And as far as the last 10,000 years thing, well, who invented the wheel and figured out fire? I don't know. No one knows. Totally could have been a woman. And women throughout history undoubtedly would have contributed more if men had taken them more seriously, like those African-American math whizzes at NASA who helped put a man on the moon. But let's not pretend, my fellow humans with a penis.
Here comes your list. The white guy list.
Who are so down on yourselves that your convenient, pleasant, cushy lives would be anything close to that without a few little things that men did contribute, like electricity, and batteries, and movies, microphones, the plow, the compass, the clock, the alarm clock, the printing press, the internet, the toilet, the telescope, penicillin, planes, the Magna Carta, the telephone, the smartphone, rockets, the theory of universal gravitation, refrigeration, air conditioning, the theory of evolution, the computer, AI. Oh, sorry about that one. And the George Foreman grill. You know. Men built the railroads and the roads, not to mention democracy and the Bill of Rights. And oh yeah, dying by the tens of millions to end slavery, defeat fascism, and face down communism. When your power goes out and comes back in 20 minutes, that's because a man in a raincoat went out in the wind and the lightning and climbed a pole and fucked with live wires.
I would never want to do that.
Yep. I'll remember, like, back a little while ago, would you rather meet a bear or a man in the woods?
Right.
And how many of these stupid 304s? Oh, a bear. Absolutely a bear.
It's going to make a lot of fat bears out
we're
there.
not completely useless. So if you want to...
When I was at the ocean...
It's all done.
2 weeks ago, we saw a real live rescue. Someone was drowning and...
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone had to go. 3 lifeguards went out and go get it, and to watch them how they moved. So 2 ran out from one chair, right? There's 2 per chair, and there may be like 400 yards apart from another chair. So the 2 ran out, 1 hopped down, ran to the other chair so that every chair was still manned. And they brought, the person that was drowning, they brought him back in. And I just made a comment. I just said, I knew a girl when I worked at Old Navy. She jumped in and saved somebody from drowning in the wave pool. Well, a wave pool can be controlled. You can turn off the wave eventually. Yeah. In the ocean, you can't stop that wave. So, like, the strength that is required to do that is unbelievable. And I just said, not that girls can't be lifeguards, but my gosh, if my child was drowning, I want a guy running in after her that I know could physically carry them back.
Yeah, they got to get there.
And I said,
and be able to carry him back.
And I said, and another job that I think that I'm sure that women could do it, but I would trust a man more, would be a fireman. And those were like the 2 that I came up with, lifeguards and firemen. I'm sure there's more, but like those are the 2 at the top of my head. And when I said that, my wife was like, how could you say something like that? And I said, let's just pretend our family is on the other side of a door and our house is burning. Do you want to give the girl a chance to kick the door down, or do you just want the guy to kick the door down?
While you're burning alive, while your kids are burning alive, literally.
Right.
Remember we broke down a while ago that female firefighter.
Yeah.
Who's like,
yes.
Well, what'd you do to get yourself into this situation that I need to carry you? You really want someone asking those kinds of questions while they're saving, you or your son who might be big. These fake feminists, man.
This just happened. I saw that video.
So,
Father jumped off a cruise
exactly.
ship.
I saw that too. Yeah. Yep. God bless him, man. Roll for Tarako. Good to see you too.
All right.
Unfortunately, you're here right at the very end. At the end of all things. All right, not the end of all things, but the end of tonight things. It was a very productive, good show. I want to thank everybody.
WNBC.
WNBC. Yeah, everybody that super chatted. You guys were very generous.
Oh my
tonight.
gosh.
Absolutely.
Super generous. Do appreciate it. I'll figure out what's going on with those display capture videos from TikTok. I was going to download them, but I think they've been privated or something, so that means they can't be downloaded. So, but yeah,
definitely watch the replay.
Please do. Yeah, it's a good show.
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry.
Yeah. Absolutely. Happy birthday, America, Badger. Yes.
Absolutely.
You guys have a great 4th. Don't blow your fingers off. Don't blow your wang off. Don't blow anything off. You can blow off some steam. Have a couple beers, blow off some steam. Had a good talk about the OSR. Where's it going? Keep your minds open, guys. Even if you don't like some of these games that maybe aren't direct, like homages to early D&D, is there a space for them? I submit that there is. We'll talk about that maybe even a little bit more next week with Jeff Talanian, creator of Hyperborea. There you go. It's an adventure I bought at Origins. By the way, I did book our hotel for Origins next year, so I think we are going. So that makes any of your decisions easier. We'll be at the Hyatt. Late Trapper's Lament. Got one going out the door. Former sapper. I know what I'm doing. Ah, yeah, there you go. Oh, my Lord.
Holy cow.
He lurks.
Gracious.
Damn.
He's like an ambush specialist. He's laying in wait, and then at the end, he's just like, Double D, by the way.
I'll put you out of your misery.
Say wham. Don't mind him. He just drunk, that's all.
He just drunk, that's all.
That's all.
That's Howard Hughes. He just drunk,
He
that's
just
all.
drunk, that's all.
Excellent stream, gents. Thanks for all your time.
Wow.
Cheers. Howard, thank you so much. Have a great 4th, Howard. What can I say? That's really, really generous. I think we got to be setting some kind of a record tonight, probably, for all you, your generosity.
A lot of people won scratchers today, Double D.
Yes, I was going to say, a lot of people.
Sharing the green.
A lot of people's birthdays in July, and their nanas and papas send them some money in the mail.
You just forward it right on to Double D and Company. Paddy, yep, thanks Double D, Rogan, Crazy Mouse. You guys make my Wednesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tell you what I'm going to do for you.
Let's do that.
Let me have control here for a moment.
You got it.
Sir, for my buddy Paddy, I am going to put in the chat. Guys, check out Paddy's store. Paddy's a good dude. He's one of us, always here. And he sells some really good stuff. Like I said, I bought the Sister Brenna. It was like a long sleeve, like hoodie, like shirt hoodie for Mrs. D. She loves it.
We saw her wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, she wore it Friday night, one night. So, yeah. But all kinds of good stuff there. Yeah, so check out Paddy's store. He's done some great artwork for the upcoming project. And I think you guys are going to like it.
Congrats
Alrighty.
to Black Lodge. Congrats to Wonky.
Yep.
LordMatteus hitting his 1,000 subscribers tonight.
Absolutely. I'll peek in for you guys on your behalf. His Heinous Harvest at 11,263. That is Wonky. And Black Lodge, they are at 39,659, a whisker away from 40 with 14 hours to go. They are absolutely going to crush that. Who knows? If they get lucky, they may get up in the mid-40s. So good on them. If you guys are looking for good Shadow Dark in Bloodmoor, that's Black Lodge's. And HHH, His Heinous Harvest by Wonky.
Paddy's got something to say.
He is OSR and Shadow Dark compatible. All profits going to the CDA firefighters. Very
So
generous,
nice,
my
yeah.
friend.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Thank you, Paddy. Yeah, good stuff, as always. All right, guys, we'll let you go. I'll hit you with something on the way out here.
People last week wanted your Dio.
The Dio? Okay, yeah, we can do Dio. Where you can see Rogan. You might even get a little bit of Crazy Mouse if you squint your eyes.
And also Gavin
Morgan. Looking like a silent film era cop.
He certainly does.
All right, guys. Take care. Love you. Great show. We'll catch up soon.
Peace out, everybody.
take
Happy
care.
4th of July.
Have a great 4th, guys. Love you.
Till you see the light, oh, we will praise, alright. Gonna get away, get away. Between the velvet lies, there's a truth that's hard as steel, yeah. I'll say the veils will never die. Let's all never
I need my bag of holding. Perception check. That's way too low. I really have no idea what's going on.
By rubbing one of these corpses, I can tell what's going on.
So what's happened here?
Circle of death.
Circle of death? Circle of death?
Circle of death!
The betrayed one. Once was I a sweet and gentle soul, ere they seized a hold of me whole. Opened I doors for dames most old, they did the blind with hearts so bold. Friends I have none, for they read the scrolls. They dare not be seen where my shadow rolls. Now down am I, forsaken and frowned, and growing mean as rumors abound. No more Sir Kindly, no more Sir Clean, no more Sir Kindly, they call me obscene. No more Sir Kindly, I heed no plea. Sir Kindly's name be gone from me. Today mine hound did bite my leg, mine cat did claw mine eyes, and Mars been cast from circles high, whilst father from shame doth hide. To church I went in common dress, incognito nonetheless, till Father Smith he raised his eye, then struck my nose and cried on high. No more Sir Kindly, no more Sir Clean, no more Sir Kindly, they call me obscene. No more Sir Kindly, I heed no plea. Sir Kindly's name be gone from me. To church I went in common dress, incognito nonetheless, till Father Smith he raised his eye, then struck my nose and cried on high. No more Sir Kindly, no more Sir Clean, no more Sir Kindly, he called me obscene. No more Sir Kindly, I heed no plea. Sir Kindly's name be gone from me. No more Sir Kindly, no more Sir Clean, no more Sir Kindly, I heed no plea, for now they call me vile and mean.